We're get you going. We're get you going.
Get me going, baby.
Ready.
We're back, YouTube. We're better than we ever been. I didn't have none of my shit up. Neither did you.
Oh man,
That's a little bit of an issue right there.
I don't think it's so much of an issue. I think we're still doing all right. You know.
Regardless,
it's definitely not. It's not a good look, man. Not a good look, bro. But it's all good because I'm gonna get right on top of that. Because I stay on top of what I do. I stay on top of it.
We'll figure it out like we always do.
I got caught lacking. All right, it's simple as that.
We've struggled before. We're struggling. We're
eager though. We're eager now to get on this air.
We came a long way first.
We
came a long way in 19 episodes.
We're ready to get on.
We came a long way.
We're ready to get on. We're ready to talk. We're ready to speak our minds. We're ready to speak this shit. That's all it is. That's all I'm gonna chalk it up to. I'm eager. I'm ready to get on.
Right, well, while you're doing that, I actually want to kind of say, I'd like to go. I got a topic I want to talk to you about specifically. So I'm going to go out. First, I'm going to say, fuck you, Gare. We had a cancellation. We don't appreciate a cancellation out here.
Nah.
So yeah, it was double time. Next time he comes on, he's going to owe us 8 hours of podcast time. 8-hour combo. But regardless of that, Saturday's a big time. Great fight Saturday. Kobe Covington versus Robbie Lawyer. Everybody tuning in. Check it out. I can't wait to see. Think Kobe definitely, the wrestling is there, can get it done. But Robbie is Robbie. Robbie is Robbie, and he'll shut it down. Everybody knows that he got the takedown defense. He got the hands to do it, and I think everybody in the world probably wants to see Kobe get knocked out. Kobe. Say it how you want. But after that, goddamn, I can't wait. August 17th, DC Stipe, Paulo Costa, Romero, Pettis versus Diaz. Finally a card. Because I'll tell you what, the last card that they put out, the last pay-per-view, it was arguable if it was a free, it should have been a free card. That should have been a free card. I've literally seen better fight cards on ESPN. It's crazy how diluted your pay-per-views are. Even August 17th. There's those 3 top-heavy ones. There's later fights in there. But then you got, I don't know, Brunson. You call him what you want if you think he's a star.
Don't you think, I think what might be happening, this is just a theory in my head, it's either, I won't even just sit here and say it's like a lack of fighters, it's a lack of depth of roster, whatever. You have the big name fights that reach the masses, that reach, the average fight fan, I would say. Not everyone's a hardcore UFC, mixed martial arts fighting dude. I get that. But you get those big fights, those title cards, those big ones, where you got some big name like John Jones or DC or Stipe or whatever you want to say, that are loaded, with arguably your 6 top fighters going at it for one night.
Yeah, and people do tune into that and shit like that. But even John Jones, people are getting kind of tired of watching these damn 5-rounders where not much is happening. He's winning and it's still brilliance, but it just kind of gets to that fact of if you listen,
you need the next guy.
If you want to be a great martial artist, you got to win fights, right? If you want to be a superstar, you got to finish fights.
Right,
Simple
exactly.
as that.
Yeah.
That's really as simple as that. But it's more the fact of just how many cards they had. This will be 9 straight weeks with a UFC card. I think it was 8 weeks before that with just one break. So at this point, it's just so many cards. You got 12 fights every card. That's 24 people right there. So you got to, if you do 4 of them, you used a quarter of your roster in a month. They can't fight every month.
Right. you need some more time. You
end up a lot of times, a lot of people get hurt too. They just end up, whatever city they're in, they're signed whoever the most famous guy is in that city that fights on the regional scene. They're just signing him and here fight some guy that he shouldn't be fighting and get fucked up most of the time.
Just as a filler.
Yep. Just feed him to a lion.
Getting some
you want to go out there and fight number 8 ranked welterweight on 2 hours notice?
You're getting this
and just UFC.
Ultra processed fight where you add in people where you don't even know their names.
Or their skill sets.
Yeah, exactly. So you get these ultra processed, watered down UFC bullshit.
I'm in the UFC though.
Exactly. They're ready to go.
They're ready
to fight whoever. Exactly.
Literally, that morning you didn't know you were being on pay-per-view.
You went from not being on TV once to having a couple more people tune into you watch you fight and shit. Yeah, you just gotta. I guess I wouldn't know where to begin on how to solve such an issue as far as deepening your roster. especially when you have so many different fighting platforms.
Right.
And
Well, it's just going to take time too, right? Because the sport's still so young.
yeah, exactly. And you already have well-established martial arts tournaments throughout the world that have been around twice that of UFC or even are part of the local
You
culture.
got a long bloodline
You know,
going on.
like in Thailand, certain parts where it's just like it's just Muay Thai out there,
Mhm.
bitch, man. You wake up, you start doing fucking Muay Thai. If you're a dude, you're doing some fucking Muay Thai.
You don't
Whoa,
know Muay Thai?
if you whoa, hold up, you're 6 foot and 4 feet of that is legs. Oh, you're doing some fucking Muay Thai, buddy. You know.
So I mean, it definitely got to find people, and most of the time, what you would see is like these people are signed into contracts with the regional people, and usually like the regional promoter will let them out of their contract. Like I know everybody wants to make it to the UFC or Bellator or something like that. One, if you get a chance to do that, most people will let you out.
Right.
But like I said, most of these people sign up, they get beat by some guy they shouldn't even be fighting yet. And it just kind of looks bad for them, unless you can go 3 rounds and they'd be like, oh, yeah, you're tough. You get another fight. Other than that, most of the time they're like, you got beat up bad. We'll see if we come back around.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
recently, there's been like people that are like, we're not going to let you out of that contract. So the UFC will be like, we want to sign you. They're like, nah.
Speaking
you're going to
of
fight this contract out if you want to go there
Speaking
first.
of contracts, how about the cyborg mess going on? Did you read up on that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that was. I thought
that
that was a funny one because she's like, she specifically called out, Dana White and Joe Rogan and pretty much, just everyone making fun of her. And I get where she's coming from, but also like, I think a lot of, like Ronda got the same scrutiny. I think a lot of, if you're a muscular, woman, you're probably gonna get that coming. I'm not saying it's right, and especially not from like the head of the UFC or whatever. But I mean, like, I think you just gotta be a little tougher, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong for me to say, but I don't know. That's how I kind of feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
It's
want
an iffy one.
anybody telling women they got dicks and shit like that. I
Yeah,
mean, that
but
is
like-
next level, but it's like you did do PEDs. She
Yeah.
did PEDs.
Yeah.
You change her body,
Yeah,
And it sucks 'cause, you lose the Nunes and you just kind of ruined your whole legacy there. You kind of lost all the power you had.
yeah. Read that. Yeah, read that.
Undefeated for 13 years.
especially for contracts. But
Yeah,
I mean, like, from what I understand, Dano, he wants the rematch for Nunes Cyborg. But
right, but he wants her
the
to sign a
contract-
long
yeah,
contract, and
exactly,
she don't
yeah.
want to, which I
Yeah.
understand because, like she said, they can only find her like 1 fight a year.
Yeah,
And she's like, I'll fight 6 fights. That'll be 6 years.
exactly.
You
yeah.
know. So
I mean, like, how's the contract
one.
break down? So the contracts, how they work? So they're pretty much saying like, so when you do fight, you get a percentage of the viewership funds, and we pay you.
No, only
Or,
if
like,
you're
how's
a
it
champ.
work? Okay.
You only get pay-per-view points if you're a champ.
Well, so then how's the pay work? Is it like a year thing?
You sign a contract, you get a show, and then you get a win. So you get double your show if you win.
I got you.
So let's say
you get a one-time payment for that fight in that year, right?
No, let's say like you sign a 6-fight contract.
Right.
So you got 6 fights and it's 35 grand an appearance. So every time you show up, you're guaranteed to get 35. And then if you win, you would get 70. You get what I'm saying?
That's not bad.
And then, I mean, you can get knockout of the night, 50 grand, submission of the night, performance of the night. There's
I got you.
bonuses and shit.
Performance heavy.
Most of the people want performance bonuses because it's more than what they make.
Exactly right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? But like you got guys like, John Jones, he's making $500,000 a fight. And he doesn't get a win bonus. It's just 500 flat.
Exactly.
But he gets pay-per-view points.
Because he's a champ.
Yeah,
currently.
so he's probably making a mil somewhere around there,
I got you. And then, along those lines, you pick up some sponsorships here and there and whatnot.
Yeah.
If you're that guy.
Outside,
or that girl and you make that money. I got you. But yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, it seems like she's going to sign that long contract as long as, they apologize or whatever, whatever she wants, But I don't see that happening,
Yeah.
Joe might give it to her, to be honest.
Oh, Joe, she said Joe already apologized.
Yeah.
But it was behind doors or something like that.
I got
she
you,
wants
yeah.
him to do like a public apology. Whatever. But I mean, I guess Dana could do a 1-fight contract.
She said
And
she
if
would
she-
do that for
If she
Nunes.
loses, goodbye.
For Nunes, yeah.
If she wins, well, I guess another 1-fight contract.
Yeah, and I guess the way he's looking at it is, hey, Cyborg might win. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but then you gotta.
You guys,
Well, it's like everybody said, it's like, well, what if she don't knock Nunes out? Let's say she wins, but she don't knock Nunes out. But then you need a third one. because everybody's gonna be like, well, she put her ass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. There's a big difference between winning a fight and finishing a fight.
Especially like a one-time fight contract for such a big fight,
Yeah,
and then
they don't like nobody to have their belt and then leave.
Well, then that, and then all the what ifs that come afterwards from there. It's like, well, you win, so you win. What if?
It's like that. What if, it's like that shit that Nate Diaz used to always say. He's like, he lost a lot of fights, but that like on the scorecards, just because. But he still had plenty of cardio. And he used to always say, he's like, the only reason I'll kill you right now is because there's a referee, and this clock.
Right.
He's like, I like fights where you just go until one of you can't go. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, a lot of times that's true. You see these guys, see these guys that, like, I come out, I fuck you up the first round. I come out, I fuck you up the second round. The third round, I'm dead. You know what I mean? I can't even move. And you're beating my ass, but I survive. I survived that third round. If there was a fourth round, I'm going to lose. You know what I mean? But there's not. And then you get that win. And then you're known to be the guy that beat me. But really, my whole plan was to tire you out. I just mistimed it by 2 minutes.
Especially with, or like, it's like, you were more of an adversary than anticipated. So you took another minute, 2 minutes. You
had a better strategy or something like that.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Your camp did a good job.
Yeah.
Because I was finna do that.
But outside of that, we could switch it up on with the thing that, in the comment, is that in the description, is that it's not a business. It was actually I loved it. It was I don't know the gentleman's name. He's not a famous guy. He's running for president.
Yeah.
And he said, he was talking about Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. And he said, I don't think that these two understand the business. He's like, I worked in it. And I can tell you that, things can happen, but it's going to take time, basically. And then, right after he said the business, Bernie was like, it's not a business.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought that shit was deep. I really did. Like when he said that, I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not a business, man.
Yeah.
Healthcare is not a business.
Yeah. It 100%.
I just think that was so funny. Like he just like walked himself into it because like I used to work in it. He's like, that's exactly why you say it's a business. You know what I mean? Like that's why you say it's a business because you worked in it. You've seen it's a business.
Yeah, exactly. And like from the comments, like it's not a business. I definitely gotta tune in. Definitely gotta tune. I didn't tune.
I just watched the highlights. I watched the highlights.
I should at least do that.
Yeah. Well, it pops up on my YouTube, and I usually just watch the time. I'm like, if it's under 5, 5, 6, I'm like, I'll tune in real quick, check it out.
To be honest, I know it sounds bad, but like for me, it's like I look. As if I'm, especially because like when I do usually get up on YouTube and I pull it up my TV or whatever, I'm trying to unwind. I don't know. It's just not the way I see to do that. Especially because it, at work and whatnot, definitely talk about it. Throughout the day, it comes up. People talk about it. People slide it in everywhere, and I just skip over those at night sometimes when I'm just tired, man. Just tired. Just don't want like I'm tired of really just the back and forth political shit, and then you gotta watch it happen.
Yeah,
10 people.
See, I've been jamming out things like this, dude, because I've just got this like trying to maintain this thing in my mind of every time I want to go to Facebook, I go to YouTube, which I know ain't the best thing, but I just realized there's a lot more for me there. There's a lot more for me.
If you have the right content you're consuming,
Yeah, and I mean, I got my feed of, and that is something that I want to see. And I like that it even knows that I just want the highlights.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that was awesome just to see like the main talking points.
My YouTube's like, set this in a similar fashion. And, I recently went through and I decluttered a lot of it, took a lot of shit off. I didn't think, was necessary.
Yeah, I did the same.
But I went back and added, through those things. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I got all this, healthy food right here. And then, every once in a while I got that bag of chips. Every once in a while I got that French fry right here. Just watch that, mindless video, whatever, just for entertainment and whatnot. But, hey, am I perfect?
What do you think about like that one guy on there from Texas? I forget his name. The one that really fucked up. But
was it Beto?
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, man, I love someone. I forgot who it was, but someone exposed him, which is like his name's like Beto. It's like Robert or something. It's like Bob. It's like his real name. It's like his real name. He just goes with Beto because it sounds more foreign or whatever. But apparently his name's Robert.
That's weird. I'm pretty sure that's the guy though.
Beto.
Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
wrong.
Texas guy. Yeah,
Yeah, but
so,
he was like his main
Beto.
talking point was like how he's gonna give reparations.
Reparations.
Reparations. Sorry,
Yeah.
reparations. Reparations.
He's gonna breathe life
You're gonna-
into the U.S.
to the US. Yes, finally, someone who gets it.
Yeah. But reparations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
So I mean, like when you look at other cases, you've seen that Holocaust victims got reparations. They even paid out Native Americans reparations. Who else? I think Fred. There's someone else in the U.S. Where they paid them off to, and man, it really is tough because to trace back all the different lines and whatnot. Whereas with like Native Americans, it's pretty straightforward. Like Native Americans, like you're 100%. You still live on the Cherokee land with all the
Yeah,
people.
that's
Whatnot. So,
easier. Yeah.
yeah, instead of having like where I'm not sure the population did it. I think America's population is like 35%, 40%. Black African American.
Oh yeah.
So you're talking like a couple 100 million. You know, give or take. So I don't know, man. It's a tough one to think about. But like I said, based off previous instances, it seems like that would be something that you would do, or that you would, go through with at some point in time. Yeah, it's probably kind of where we're at with it. It's like, yeah, you gotta do it.
It's
Where
just-
are you at? Like I said, it has its own problems. It
yeah,
has its
for
own
me,
problems,
it's like it
100%,
seems like it's like
yeah, it's a
first
fucking
it's
one.
like what do you give, right? Like, are we breaking this down of like if your grandmom and your granddad were a slave, you get this much, like how does that work is what I would want to know first of all.
Yeah,
Or does everybody just get $500? Is it a one-time thing? Do you constantly pay
yeah.
them?
It sucks to say because it's something that would have been 100% easier,
Yeah, it's just
in
like
the
on all the
1850s
things.
or so when slavery was abolished.
Also, when
So
the population was not even a quarter, a quarter
yeah,
of what it is.
and now
That's
you
the main
have
thing.
and now you have
Like,
two generations
and all them things, you're more than that. I would say, probably,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, at least two, right, or somewhere around two. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah. It's not. It can't be one, I guess.
yeah, but I guess
But, like,
I guess the one bigger
all the
argument for
things you're
that
saying is like small populations. Like the
exactly
Native Americans ain't that many.
exactly
When you're talking about like, can we even give 125 million people $20? I mean, what I guess we could, right? But like,
yeah, but it's
and it's like, what's $20?
Because-
That would be a
because
smack in the face.
but you also like I don't fully understand it. I don't fully how everything works or how funds would even be allocated for something like that. Military budget we use, but yeah, it's like, and then like at what point in the generational time period do you stop giving the reparations, or is it for every generation?
I feel like
and you immediately increase your
I feel
your
like just thinking
population.
about it on it right now, it's like I would rather see like a program if we were gonna do something of the sort. I would rather see a program where like you help them bounce back economically, and try to catch up in the generational gaps and the big gap there. So like maybe they do get. I know people are gonna have a problem with it, but like maybe they do get extra on a house loan, you get a better interest, or you get an extra on the loan, extra $5,000. Or a business opening, something like that, like something to be able to get them like higher in society quicker.
And people would push back on that, but I mean, 1960s, we just had the civil
I
rights
just worry about giving
movement.
anybody $500.
It's like it's just such a recent time period. Such a recent we're not far off from where there's still segregation and
but
whatnot.
there's just like black, white, whatever. There's so many people I know don't deserve $1,000. You know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, because it's a thing that generational, so it's like hard to say don't deserve.
Yeah,
right? Because
exactly.
it's not you no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I'm saying is like not that they don't deserve that, but I know plenty of people, black, white, Mexican, whatever, that would just blow $1,000.
Yeah, and I think you know
But
what
then
the
who am I to say?
I think what the strategy of the government is just to, keep outweighting it to the point where it's like, well,
5 generations, 6
it's
generations.
like, because I mean, like, if they really wanted to do something like that, it would have been so much simpler to do it, in the
Sure, we
the
left
ages
the
that
era.
followed, exactly, even in the early 1900s to the 20s into the 60s, when you had people directly
For sure.
affected by the civil rights, infringement upon those rights, whatever. It would have definitely been 100% easier because you had a direct, link, like, boom, you experienced this, here you go. Where it's like now, it's like, well, you were related to that person, so here you go.
But like, give them an acre, something like
Give
that.
some land.
Yeah, give them some land.
Give some land.
That's like something that's like real. Like, you got that. If you want to go through the process of selling it, do it. But
Right.
I feel like you give somebody land, they're gonna live there for the most part. If you're like, oh, you can get. What if they're like, all right, you got a family of 4. Here's an acre, right? Or you can sell it for $4,000. I mean, if you want to do that, but it's not better for you to do that.
Yeah, then you get into stuff like where it's like, well, do you pay to put the pipes out here? Do I got to do that myself? Like, how do we work that out?
Of course, we would hope that all. We'd hope that all that's there. That's a civilized, not a middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
like it's a civilized thing.
Yeah,
with some electricity. And
yeah, I think you just make it a little more complex with the land.
I just think like that's really giving them something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get you.
And then have it like written in law that land can't be taken, for 150 years or some shit.
Yeah.
Or never.
It just stays. Oh, yeah. It'd be funky if it was like, well, 100 years up, you gotta give it back.
Yeah, right.
Your fifth generation family lives here, but
you can't the dad told the son told his son, as soon as that 150 years is up, we should get that fucking land back.
They're coming for that fucking land. I'm not telling you. Like, also, why would you like accept that deal? Because then it's like, well, I saw what you did to the Native Americans, bro. You gave them land and then you took it right back.
Okay, well now you're talking about okay, well, how much? How much are we gonna give them?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like,
exactly. What's an acre of land worth? I think it was worth like a 5 to me, $5,000.
Yeah, I think
give or take.
I think the real logistical thing is thing to tackle is like figuring out who gets it, and whatnot. Like, does this current generation and back get it or?
But let's say that it's 100 million people.
You give them 100,000.
That's like an astronomical thing. You know what I mean? And what we give them, let's just say it was something that's appropriate. So let's say we gave them like $50,000.
Right.
I mean, I guess we could find the money. The money's there if you wanted it. It just doesn't seem financially sound. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sitting there trying to feel like, would I want respirations? But it's like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't do it. I usually can use my empathy, and go to that land. But obviously, I can't look at it. I can't use my empathy to become someone experiencing racism.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that just would be unsound for me to say. But
yeah.
What if we said like
something?
Oh, it's weird. I feel like there's a lot of like.
It's tough. Yeah.
Uncle Tom's, quote unquote. I hate to use the word, that thing. But like, I was gonna say, like, what if we did a vote? Like, it might not win, but I guarantee you, a lot of Black people would probably vote to not get respiration. Like, you see, like Candace Owens type of motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those type of people, I feel like they would be like, well, we don't get respirations and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And they'd be like,
yeah.
There'd be like 20%. They're like. No. I think, and they can tell all their white friends, when they're out there on the fucking boat, they can be like, "Yeah, I've had enough respirations."
Well, knowing that one, buddy. Am I right?
Hey, bam, smack on the ass.
Hits golf balls. Sliced it. But yeah, that's definitely.
It's like that one white girl likes black guys in the back of the boat. And they're like,
you did.
So she's like, "Who voted for reparations?" And it's just like.
So it's funny. It's funny because when you hit me up today, you were like, you gotta listen to that Mike Baker or whatever. I'll tell you one thing that kind of stood out for me from that one. That kind of disappointed me, and it seemed like we were almost being quoted. I swear, it almost seemed like we were almost being quoted. Where when Joe was like, he was like, Oh yeah, people are always like, you can take some of that military budget and
I heard that, bro. I was thinking of you too. Yeah, and he was
and
like,
then he's like, that's just not a sound idea, you know. It's just like people like to say,
and he's like,
just
no,
take
no.
some
But
of.
before he said that, he was like, maybe you could take some.
Yeah.
But he was like, you do got to stay ahead of the competition, which
Yeah.
I agree. But I
Yeah,
don't think
I
it's
agree.
800 billion to stay
I
ahead of the
agree.
competition.
I agree 100%.
When you're spending
you
as
know?
much as the next 6 people combined.
and they're still competing. They're still
Yeah,
staying
they're
with
still
you.
competing,
They're still
exactly.
staying up with you.
There's
you know?
a
It's like-
problem. You know what I mean? That's money
Exactly.
getting wasted.
You know, it's like why don't we
But
have
that is
5G?
so funny,
Why don't we
bro.
have 5G?
That is.
Like, literally, come
That
on.
makes you think he watched the show.
Exactly.
he
It's like-
watched the
It's
episode.
like, Joe, you tuning in?
No, I was like, oh, these
It's like,
dumbasses. Like,
some people like to say you could take some of that military. I'm sitting there, I'm just like,
literally, it sounded
yeah,
just like
I'm
what
sitting
we
there, we're
said.
just like, you could take some of that military budget.
Literally.
It was great. You know, it was great. But like, I'm sitting there, I was like, man, I'm disappointed in you, Joe. You serious, man? It's like it's 700 billion. It's 800 billion. It's,
Yeah, 800.
yeah.
765.
yeah. It's just
800.
it's
You got to
just
round up.
It's just to keep going. You know, it's just to keep going. You know, it's, why stop here?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm all for
Yeah,
staying
stay
ahead of
ahead.
people. I'm all for that, but I just think it can be done with 500 billion.
Yeah, and I also think that like if you can generate that much money for that, we can do something for people here too. That's all I'm saying.
Right,
You
bro.
take
I
it-
seen some.
You could take that how you want. You could take that as free college. You could take that as free healthcare. You could take that as getting every
I
homeless
would
person a
love
house.
for someone to look this
but-
up, if someone can.
Huh.
But it was a quote. It was like a number I seen of like every dollar that you make or every dollar you spend in taxes or something along the lines of that. It's like 14 cents of that goes to military. It's like mainly the main junction of your dollar is going to military something, which, hey, maybe it works, maybe it don't. But the thing that I took away from that is when they were talking about like legalizing. I didn't know this, but they were talking about like how they're trying to like legalize weed and mushrooms and all that shit. And then he was saying like they were talking about how the number one people that are lobbying against those things are pharmaceuticals, but then number two was
the
prison guard,
private prison. Yeah, the prison guard.
Prison guard union.
Yeah. I probably didn't help you with that one at all. It's like just kept throwing out other terms.
Just listen to that, guys. The people that are lobbying against these life-saving drugs are the prison guards. Just think about that.
They want criminals.
Why?
They want criminals.
Why would they ever be into anything like that? Why would that?
Exactly.
Why is there even money being funded to do that?
Think about it. Someone looks at that and they're like, "This is a great cause. I want to give you guys some money." People donate to that. People
Those
donate to
same
that.
motherfuckers are the ones that smoke that bowl when the kids outside the park. That fucking used to do acid in college.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same motherfucker. Like, what? I forget that fucking senator's name, but just not a senator, a representative that just stepped down. He's like known for going against
Pot.
LGBT.
Oh.
And he got found soliciting.
Oh, that dude in Mexico or something?
I don't know,
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's the story that I heard.
But like he got found soliciting. I guess it was transsexual.
Yeah, I think it was the same guy who got caught in a gay strip club. Like literally, they got him action shot. It could be a deep fake. It could be a fake out this bitch. But from what I understand, it was a real picture. He was photographed in a gay strip club, literally like up in front of like the male stripper, just like.
That's fun. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. For his name too.
Side note of that, like, how weird is it that like America was like, we only have Christians, and you can be Catholic and
This is
Christian,
a
right?
Christian nation.
And then people are like, oh, well, we came up with this Mormon shit, and we like this one, and then we're like, no Mormons. So then they just go right across that border, whose family, is the politician, Mitt Romney. That's where his family lives. is in this village right across the border in Mexico
Oh yeah.
where they're allowed to just do the religion. And they come back and forth and they have their own little town there.
Yeah, they just be chilling over in Mexico.
Yeah,
man.
I watched the whole documentary on that. And the crazy thing about it
I want
is
to see that.
they built it's a Vice News thing. Look up Mitt Romney Vice News, you'll see it. Mitt Romney family. He actually when he became a politician, denounced them basically. Left them and acts like he was never part of that.
He left it. Wow.
Yeah, but the funny thing is he's a senator of, I believe, Utah, where it's supposed to be 60% Mormon. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's just the estimates that I'm writing.
Right,
now.
exactly.
If everything's right there, I believe is what it is. But it's just funny that he denounced them, but he's still in this Mormon spot. You know what I mean? And so when they were over there, when they were over there, a lot of times, like, people realized, oh, this is Mitt Romney's family. They got money. So the cartel started kidnapping them.
What the fuck?
So they were getting, getting kidnapped so much they had to stop paying ransoms, bro. They had to stop paying ransoms. Oh. They were getting every week they were losing somebody, bro.
Wow, what?
So eventually they had to say, we're not paying no more ransoms. And then mainly a lot of people stopped trying to grab them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like they won't pay up.
They let people die.
Exactly.
They let people die.
So then they probably won't even, but that's probably the best way to do it is like, you know, it's just like, why keep kidnapping them if they're not going to pay nothing, you know? So it kind of worked, I guess. Do they keep it up?
But how many people did you lose before they stopped?
Small price to pay for a couple million.
Who made that payment? Let's say it was you. Okay, what if it was you caught? Is it a small choice now?
No, you better pay that shit. Well, I mean, of course.
Like that day, it's a small choice when it's someone else.
Well, it was a joke. It was a joke, first of all.
No, serious.
I was like, well,
seriously, deep Spanish hatred.
But did they keep? But they stopped though. So in the long run,
they didn't stop.
They
slowed down.
It slowed down.
They didn't stop getting took every week.
Progress.
They also all have guns.
If you see it,
they also have armored vehicles.
If you follow this line chart here, you'll see that the number of kidnappings lowered when we stopped paying ransoms. So therefore, we must stop paying ransoms.
It's funny because they just have like this nice little ass neighborhood, bro, with like pools and shit in Mexico.
It's so weird. Yep. It's so weird. You just, what? It's so.
And America doesn't worry about it. It's like, oh.
And that was another thing, like with Mexico, is like they had those remote parts all over the country, you know, where it's like you don't even have roads connecting some of these places, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
still a lot of places.
Yeah. So it's like how do you control a region? We have so much uncontrolled part of the region. Like you don't
have a police.
You control a couple pockets of Mexico. Is literally what you have.
You don't have a military, and your military is your police. So now we have a problem.
You have all one unit.
Yeah, that just seems about as simple as that gets. I mean, when your police are hiding their face.
Yeah. Well, they have the federales, and I know they have the
federales.
Yeah, I love calling that.
So
I love calling that. And then you have the police in each province. You know, I don't think towns have their own. I don't know.
But a lot of people, they don't have police, bro. People don't want to sign up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They can make more money in a cartel.
And then the cartel pays you to go become a cop, and you're just like, oh, it came full circle. I'm a cop, and I make a lot of money.
You just think about like,
and I don't got in danger.
Might have been the guy that did the documentaries on there, but they were just talking about how they're trying to fix that. He's like, you got to figure out to give these kids a better opportunity than the cartel. Simple as that.
You know I think they both broke down kind of right there, where they were just like laughing for a second because how sad it is. Really, it's just like, oh, wow. Because the cartels, I mean, they pay, you know, especially when you don't have anything, you know, close to comparable. Where you have like,
and your daddy was in the cartel, your uncle was in the cartel,
your great
granddad was in the cartel, your mom was a Latin king.
You're in a village that's cartel ran, and you're just like, well, be cartel. I mean, it's like the only choice you got going on. I mean, you know,
I'd be cartel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You'd have to.
You know?
You just would have to. Or be scum. Not scum, but basically you wouldn't be able to survive. You know, not have the money to get by.
Yeah, and I mean, you could be like, you know, like, yeah, especially in those like rural parts, those really, you know, those unconnected parts, you know, especially where their main territories are.
It's so funny, like when you just see pussies, you're just like, you know, someone's a pussy, and you hear them saying like, We gotta stop letting them illegals in.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why I love fighting, bro. That's why I love UFC.
Yeah.
How about we just let illegal immigrant fight you? Whoever weighs what you weigh, right?
Yeah.
And whoever wins stays. How about that? Let's see who wins. Let's see how many Americans
and
win.
it's like,
Don't get me wrong. We're gonna win some. But a lot of them lower class guys, they're gonna get exposed.
exactly. And then
You don't want to fight a 230-pound Mexican who's like, what Joey Diaz always say, immigrant mentality. I need
Joey
this.
Diaz says that? Yeah.
Joey Diaz always says that about Yoel Romero, the fighter, and like Jorge Masvidal.
yeah.
Immigrant mentality,
Yeah.
different. Usman and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, because I mean, like, people say that from such a privileged position. From such a privileged position,
Yeah.
like, whereas, people come to the UFC and them, fighting, somebody, to make, a lot of money rather than just fighting for your life or, depending, your background, whatever, it's like, yeah, you have a way different mentality than anything that I've ever even experienced growing up in this little nice pocket of Baltimore. And,
It's like that quote, that meme thing where it's like, imagine that America's police force crumbled. There was no police and gangs were going around doing what they wanted, killing, raping, stealing, whatever. And you ran to Canada to try and get out of it. And Canada said, stop, go back that way. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody likes to think, like, oh, Canada won't let us in. You know what I mean? Yeah, if we needed them, yeah, we can run up there.
They could start calling us, like, snow bunnies because we're running to, like, the north. It's
funny, it's like when you-
snow bunny. It's like,
Snowflakes.
Yeah. Fucking.
And the whole thing is, like, apparently, like, there's hella traffic on the Canadian border because there's not even a wall or nothing like that,
Well, that and
Not a full
there's also routes where people they're just skipping right over America and going straight into Canada because Canada has a more welcoming
Right.
program.
I watched a doc before. You know who also likes Canada? Soldiers that went AWOL. They got like 14 I watched this years ago. It was like 14 of them that they were at war, right? Some of them were in other countries at war.
This came
and
home.
they did not like most of them had a story of like they were committing atrocities. Is what it, you know what I mean? What it was. So they left straight up, got on their own plane
in Canada
and left that and went, and they fly in America and they just walk over the border.
Yeah.
And they go to Canada and then it's basically like the kind of Snowden thing, right? Where it's like, well, now you got to get extradited.
Yeah.
You got to agree with the government. Are they going to chase that person?
Another thing that they were talking about earlier today was when they were talking about the DNR, the Department of Natural Resource Rangers that go through the parks and whatnot. They were running into those cartel grow-ups going on in those wooded areas.
That's crazy.
And it's like, and now they're just responsible for battling a cartel. And it's just like, it's not the fuck I signed up for out this bitch, I wanted to stop people from killing too many deer, and I wanted to make sure they're not shooting when they're driving and shit, I just want to be out hiking. I want to be gunfights with cartels and shit. But yeah, that was another crazy thing, it's just cheaper to come over here and grow it, I'm trying to think,
that makes me think about that guy Gallinger. His case just finished up, that Navy SEAL that they had that case about.
Yeah.
He got found not guilty.
Yeah. Yep.
And
that one dude testifying against him was so shaky.
Yeah, it came out today that the Navy gave awards and honors to the prosecution, to 8 members of the prosecution, 4 attorneys and 4 staff helpers.
Huh.
They gave them an award, and there's like that. I sent it to you.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, they give the reason for each one. These people lost the case. You know what I mean? These are the prosecution. They lost the case.
Exactly.
And they got rewarded, which I'm not saying, hey, you can still do good and lose. But that was just weird to me.
Especially
that
when
was
it's like
really weird to me. To me,
the SEAL, Navy.
Listen, I hate to say anything bad about something of prestigious honor like that. But to me, that looks like someone said, we're going to hook you guys up. You got to like that. You know what I mean? Take it easy. Listen, I might be completely wrong on that. I obviously didn't watch the case. I don't know them guys. I just think that that's weird.
I mean, it's weird from the jump because you have the U.S. government, prosecuting against one of its highest ranking entities in
And
its
it's
military.
a weird case because you got the case that's brought up on this guy, Gallinger, who was the original person that's been said that he did it. And then his guy under him says that he held his trachea when he was coming over to him. But then did you see the picture, bro?
No, I didn't see the picture. No, I didn't see that circulating. Is it of the victim? Is it the boy or whoever?
Not of this guy, a separate one, right? So he got found not guilty on that.
Right.
But he got found not guilty on that, and he got found not guilty on shooting sniper at an elderly man. He got found not guilty on both of them. He got found guilty on posing in whatever disrespectful American photo.
Right.
Bro, it's a photo of this guy after a kid was killed. He might have been 20 or something like that, but this guy's young as shit. He poses next to him like this, dog, behind it. This picture's out there. Everybody should look at it.
Wow.
He got 4 months basically of like military probation, and he got knocked down a rank.
What?
This guy is dead. This kid's dead.
You're not operating.
This kid. The funny thing. Listen. The funny thing is this is the Times, right, Steve? Listen to the Times, right? I seen this picture circulated, and I seen what people were saying, and I didn't even look into it because I didn't believe it. I literally thought it was a lie. Like somebody was just making some shit up.
Right.
It was something else,
Fake-ass
either
photo.
or this guy really was a suicide bomber, that they saved 20 lives and he just happened to do that, which would make me feel different. As bad as it sounds, I would feel different. But I just passed it up, not even respecting it. And then I come to the realization that that was a real photo. That's what this guy just got found guilty of, who was being prosecuted for another murder. So he got found guilty of posing with a body that he killed, or a dead body, period. It's just, it's haunting. It's haunting.
Yeah. And then, you knock him down a rank.
I don't want to find that.
But he's still operating. He's still operating in, all of your operations, overseas and whatnot. After that 6 month his band is up, you're right back where you were.
Yeah, here go right back up. People forget about it.
You get another mission or two under your belt, and you get promoted. I'm not sure what it takes to be promoted, of course, but yeah, that's definitely iffy. Iffy from the jump. It just looks shady all around, especially when you have the government going after one of its highest ranking entities. And then you reward the prosecution team. The government is rewarding its own members for losing a case. Like it's why is that? I mean, it just sounds weird. I'm not even gonna pose any type of crazy theory, but it just sounds weird off the jump, right off the bat. It's like what's going on right there?
I'm trying to find this picture for you, just because it's like one of them ones are just haunting.
Yeah, it's one of
it's a corpse of an ISIS fighter.
Yeah, man. See, it's just weird posing with a dead body.
Okay, so apparently this happened a little bit of time ago. This happened a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just now catching on.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not too filled on the story. I know he was found not guilty on those counts of murder. Yeah, I mean,
not showing the picture.
The only person who knows are the people who testified. But then again, you also would have the government who you're being prosecuted by cross-examine you, and they don't want it to come out. It's just a very iffy one.
Wish I could have found it.
Elusive photo it is. Yeah.
It's all. It was on. It's probably you can find on Reddit, but it's probably hard to Google.
Jamie would have found it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I didn't want to spend too much time.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's a he's laying like this, dude. Beach style over a dead kid body.
He's smiling?
Yeah, he's smiling.
Oh,
yeah, it's a happy photo.
Yeah.
The guy takes a picture right there.
Obvious too, it's like,
man, crime and corruption, bro, destroying this goddamn world, man. Just like,
a crazy dude doing crazy shit.
What is up with people, dude? What is up with people?
Yeah,
what is it, Steve?
There's one thing, with operating, killing, doing your thing, doing what you got to do out in the field. I can never understand that. But then,
but just anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. But taking the photo,
but even farther than that, 13 shot, 6 kill last weekend, Baltimore. Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
What is up with people, bro? Is it like I feel like it's like a combination of everything. Like it's the sugar, it's the caffeine,
It's just
it's the Coke, it's the ego, it's the society, it's the culture, it's like everything. There's so much going on. People just going crazy.
yeah.
It's
It's like
going
it's
crazy.
overloading of senses.
You're crazy.
You're
Bro.
overloading your senses
The
every
thing is,
day.
what if these percentages? What if it was always these percentages? All we did was increase the number. You know what I mean? Because it's like for every Baltimore, there's usually Annapolis. There's
Yeah.
usually a spot that can counteract that. So if that spot has one murder and you got 999, you know what I'm saying? Like you can usually balance it out. Say, okay, there's 1,000 murders there a year.
Yeah, but I mean, but I mean, like the one thing that really sets us apart is like the amount of people we have here. I mean, it's just simple as that. The more people we have, of course,
We have a small population and one of the highest murder rates.
Our population is relatively well. Our population as a whole is relatively large amongst developed nations or
Baltimore City.
No, I'm saying the United States.
Oh yeah,
in
for sure.
of itself. I mean,
Baltimore City, I believe, has like
you have those pockets, yeah, of course. But
it doesn't have a lot of people at all.
No.
So when you go like per capita, like when they say like, because you go to like Chicago,
yeah,
and their murder rate is higher, like more bodies drop there. There's 1,000 murders a year in Chicago.
Yeah,
but they have 10 times the amount of people, 10 times the amount of people as Baltimore.
In there,
where if you go per citizen, Baltimore ranks in like the top 5 in the world, bro.
Yeah.
With like El Salvador cities and shit, like seriously, bro. We had more than Puerto Rico, which I ain't saying Puerto Rico is like a crazy spot like that, but like it just says something to me, like if you're in a developed city and you've got that many bodies dropping.
Yeah, especially in somewhere like the United States of all places. That's what I'm saying overall,
It's like, it's just crazy. I feel like sometimes words just get said and like not processed, It's like, it wasn't even our worst weekend. 13 people in 2 days were shot. 6 of them dead. Like it's just, it's unfathomable to think that many bodies are dropping. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's crazy to think about that. Like Baltimore's not that big.
No, it is not. It's very small.
Like if you're saying, let's say
we don't even have a
13
million people. We do not even have a million people. We have like 600,000 people, in this city.
And 13 of them got shot
Maybe
last
700,000
weekend.
right now.
It's just crazy to think about. Like when there's so many guns out there. There's a lot of fucking guns in Baltimore, bro.
You walk by
That's
a lot.
all I know, bro.
You walk by a lot.
That's all I could say is like, there's so many. And I'm telling you, I know people are stingy with their guns. It ain't like in the movies where like somebody's like, I need a gun. And then somebody just gives them their gun.
Yeah.
It's not like that, bro. People pay for their guns. You don't just give them away.
You buy those
you gotta
guns.
buy this bitch. So it's not like everybody is just like using the same guns. People got guns.
People got their own guns.
Multiple guns.
And they're ready to use them. They're ready to protect themselves,
They got a gun for a reason. You know what I mean? Like they've got those guns. When you got an illegal gun, I feel like you got it for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's easy to purchase a legal gun if you really want it.
You
really want to take that
happen
money.
to come across them. You happen to find them. Even if you don't
buy
go looking for them.
Should we go buy shotties one day?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's
This
get
is a
some
great idea.
shotties,
This is
bro.
a great idea.
Just to have.
I'm gonna saw mine off. Investigate them. No, but yeah, I mean, I think it's relatively easy to buy shotguns in Maryland. You can
It's easy. I can go to Walmart right now.
They're cheap,
right, bro. They're literally like $220.
Yeah, my record's clean.
Yeah, I got non-violent.
Clean. So I'm gonna get that shoddy.
Literally, we could go to fucking Walmart right now with probably $600 and get 2 shotguns with some shells.
Probably you can even go. I think
that day.
I think some AR, not the particular AR model, but I think some ARs, some of the semi rifles or whatever. I think some of them can go pretty cheap. I think you can see some like low caliber ones like around the $1,000 range.
That's
like,
crazy. Thinking about how easy that is to purchase.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's one of the things that should be like, you got to treat them like cigarettes or some shit, you know?
I
and just
think
like,
Maryland's.
it should be like super marked up.
I think Maryland
then-
might be one of those states, but I don't
See, I
know.
always go there.
What?
I always go to like, oh, that's unfair. That should be super marked up so that people are like, don't buy it. But then poor people can't buy guns, right?
Right.
The thing is, somebody's still going to purchase them guns. So now it's just rich people with the money.
Yeah, exactly. And when you pass around, a couple guns, that especially like ones that have been used, you pass them around, you sell them, you resell them. The value kind of lowers over time. They devalue over time. So now you got people running around with super cheap guns that are easy to buy. You probably find one with $150, $200. Maybe it had 3 different owners, but
For sure.
it operates.
Yeah, I always remember like when I used to
And ammo's cheap.
when I used to live in Hollandtown, bro, there was this homeless dude. And like everybody like kind of knew, the rumor was that like he used to smoke motherfuckers for the low. And bro, I'm not even lying. Like it could have just been mythical. Maybe he smoked one person, but like, bro, people said he had like 100 bodies.
What the hell, man?
Like literally, like because nobody really knew the guy, and apparently like $20, $15.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like I don't know if it was 100 people, but like he
man?
might have been known for just getting down like that. You know what I mean? But regardless of
Yo,
people,
man, it killed 15.
yeah, don't even worry about
What
that guy. Though.
the
Just
fuck?
imagine like there is people in like almost every hood that got like 3. There's a guy with 3. You know what I mean? Not everybody gets one body gets caught.
Exactly. Yeah.
You kill and you get away. Most of them go unsolved.
Exactly. You never.
Oh man, I started watching the Cold Case Files on fucking Hulu the other day, and episode 1, god damn, smack you hard right off the jump.
See,
Good shit, bro.
Can't say I like that true crime shit.
I usually watch the docs.
Yeah.
Right. I usually watch the documentaries. That's what I like. So like the Stephen Avery one,
Right.
I got into that, but I usually don't like true crime documentary neither. It's usually too slow for me.
Right.
But when I turned this on, I was like, "We're a chance." The fucking episode just sucked me in, dude. It was like crazy, man. It was like this little girl.
They're usually like that, man. They're built like that. Just be
Yeah. Well, but not. This is a different level type of one.
Yeah.
It seems like they do their best one on episode 1.
Yeah.
They know,
They
right?
want
Episode
to
1 and the season finale. Those got to be the
Yeah.
best episodes.
Exactly. Keep people watching.
Oh, on this one, like she's like, it was Halloween, and they had like a little like dance or something. The girl's 12, and she goes there, and there's like this part where she's like, the mom's telling the story, right? And she's like, yeah, she went there, and then she's like, when she got out of there, she was with her friend. Her friend offered to walk her home, but she said, I'll just go alone, and walked. And she was like, she had to walk because I forgot to pick her up. And she just keeps talking.
Yeah.
Just keeps talking, Steve. And that does not even a thing for the entire show. She finishes saying what happened, and then it goes on. And the whole time I'm just like, does anybody understand what this bitch just said? She forgot to pick her up. Like, how does that work criminally? You know what I mean? Because like you let this 12-year-old walk to there and back. You were supposed to pick the kid up and you didn't. You know what I mean? Like if you're supposed to feed a kid and you don't, it's a problem, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Spit
it's like,
the kid up.
yeah, if you don't clean a kid, it's a problem. There's a lot of things that you have to maintain the kid. You're supposed to pick up the fucking kid at nighttime. Like obviously time has passed. It's later in the night.
Right. So you don't just forget your kid.
On her way back, bro, she got fucking scooped up, bro. And they always get you, man. But basically, like, years were going by, and they found nothing. They found the body, right? And it was down by like this wood underneath of a bridge and shit.
Yeah.
And they found before that they found like her dress. And it had a fucking cum stain on it, bro. Yeah. But they didn't find the body. So then like the next day they find the body. And in the same place, So like the people were there and they came back there that night after they were there checking for it.
Wow.
Like they found the clothes, they left, the people came back with her, sexually assaulted her, and then killed her there.
What the hell?
Yep, exactly.
That's weird.
Threw her off the bridge.
That's weird.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, so they got this one cum stain, and like, for some dumbass reason in their head, bro, they're thinking one cum stain, one person. Like, that's pretty much how they're thinking. They're thinking like a single person did this.
Right.
So they got all these people, and they're giving you like all this evidence, and like, there's like 3 times, right? They set you up. Yeah, they're like, they show you this one person. They're like, yeah, we was with this person, and he's a double sex offender, and he knew her, and he always talked about doing this, and just give you all this shit of why it wouldn't be him, right? And they're like, DNA didn't match, right? And then like they give you another one, and then they give you one that's like they get to this one guy like 10 something, I fucking forget, and they're like, they go to his house, bro, and like he's creepy. Apparently, everybody finds him creepy. He's always asking little girls for hugs. He got some infatuation with like giving them shit. They go to his house, bro, and he's got a little cubby hole, like where you could slide someone underneath of the fucking, like underneath of the floor. You know what I mean? Like he got some cubby hole, dog.
That's hell no.
And they're like, DNA didn't match. And then they had these other two guys. Right, where they're like,
well, you don't just ignore the cubby hole.
They had these. This is all after, right? This whole case had died after like a year.
Yeah.
And there was this one fucking detective, man. Shout out to him. I don't remember his name, but check out the episode. He came to the family, bro, and he was like, "I'm gonna fucking solve your kid's case." Straight up told them that, yo. He said, he heard about what happened. He was like, "I'm gonna solve your fucking kid's case." And sure enough, bro, they said he worked 72 cases that year. The 73rd one was hers. Like he was working that the whole entire year.
Yeah, right.
And he ended up just finding all these things, that didn't add up. So there was like a boot print on her face that like kind of showed something differently, you can imagine. So like that they didn't write about in the autopsy. So there was like little weird things like that. And then there was like these two suspects that were like huge sex offenders. Like they just every time they get out, they were trying to sex offend.
Watch this shit,
bro. I'm telling you, just watch episode 1. Like there's two suspects, and like every time they get out, they do a sex offender thing. Like they're just multiple sex offender, but they don't never do enough, to get away for a long time.
Right.
And when the police were like investigating it on their paperwork, they had got locked up the day before, so they eliminated them. And never tested them, bro, because they said they were in jail at the time. This is 5 years later. This guy's like, I'm going to solve your kid's case. He looks back on it. He goes and calls up his friend, gets him to check the records. They got bailed out that same night. Then they find out the guy with the cubby hole knew these two, and it was all 3 of them.
What the hell?
Like, oh my God.
It connects.
Bro.
They're in your face.
How did you had everyone
We're in your face?
And for 5 years it went by, bro. For 5 years. Like, that's just crazy. And then for you to make simple of a dumbass mistake.
Bad police work.
That's just crazy. And it's just like so much shit that they do leave out. Like they had an eyewitness, right? When the girl got picked up.
Right.
And like he didn't have a cell phone at the time, of course. It's like 96, some shit like that. And he's like, yeah, there was a tall, skinny white guy, and he put her into a red car, which is what that guy with the cubby hole had. A red car and was tall and skinny, right? So they had everything. But they never asked this guy, or he never mentions if he shoved them in the car and he got in. Or did he shove her in the car and then he got in the driver's seat?
Right.
You know what I mean? That seems like something you would ask, right? So they might have left that out to make the show.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they had that info, they would have been looking for other people, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like that guy did find that. And it's like
that's just so bad.
It's just horrible police work. And great police work by the guy that came. And imagine somebody tell you that, 5 years your kid been gone, he comes up to you, I'm gonna solve your kid's case, and does it.
And then just solves it, and then you're just like, what the fuck, man?
Like, thank you so much.
What is this bullshit? Like, what the fuck did I get?
They straight up abducted her. You know how they caught these guys, right? They got caught picking up. They tried to pick up a 17-year-old girl in the same spot that they grabbed that 12-year-old 5 years earlier.
Wow.
And the 17-year-old fucked them up and ran away. And that's how they ended up, they're back. Oh, bam. Now we're going to look for this because they were looking for like something to spark up and get to be able to DNA swab them or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
And the same exact spot, like cringy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go back to what worked.
Exactly.
I hate thinking about that. The problem is,
they knew where they could, try and get it done.
Listen, it might be weird for me to say, but all I'm saying is like, Of watching everything that I've watched, if there is a kid abducted around me, I'm not saying I'm going to find anyone's kid. I'm saying that I kind of got a good idea of what people do. And I feel like a lot of times, like when you watch these shit of like what happened, you're like, that's not how you find someone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like on that one, they're like, yeah, the whole neighborhood got together and they were going through, looking at everybody's cars and, they closed off some streetways and basically like the neighborhood was all looking all night and shit like that. And they're all looking around like, when's the last time you heard of someone grabbing a kid, going around the block, sexually assaulting them, killing them and leaving? It's never happened. That's never what they do. They're trying to get out of there. Right. So I always think like number one, they're going to try and get out of there. Most of this happens in a 2-hour span. It's sick that I even know all this shit, bro. But honestly, it's something it's something that I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? Like it bothers me that kids go abducted and never get found. It bothers me that so much child molestation goes unreported and uncharged, and things like that. So when I watch these, I just try and learn as much as I can. And it's like most of the time, these people kill these kids. This is also for, older people too, not just kids. This is just rape, kills, period. It's usually 2 hours. When if you're getting kidnapped for a ransom, that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
But if you're getting kidnapped to be raped, it's usually 2 hours you got. They're trying to rape you, kill you, leave. They want to run away and get back. So it's a less gap that they got to explain, if something happens. So they're not going to be around the corner in the alley. You know what I mean? If you got a car, okay, they're in a car. All right, they're going to go somewhere hidden. So you don't send people like blocking the streets. I would send patrol cars to like the graveyard. You know what I mean? Like, let's say we're right here. Like, let's say right now, a kid gets abducted on my block right now. And I'm thinking, where are they going to go? I know, bam, there's 3 ways in and out, right? That way, and the back 7-Eleven.
I see where you're going.
Okay, so now we're going, all right, if they go right here, where are they going to go? Okay, they're not going to go left because that would be downtown. Basically, that's a long-ass strip right there. They're not going to go straight because that'd be Colgate, right? You got the industrial area. It'd be a little too sketchy. Now you're thinking, okay, now they're going to go North Point. They're going to try to get to Essex maybe, right? Somewhere where there's woods. Somewhere under, you're going to try and get them out. Like something like that is how their mind should be thinking, and you got to think it quick. Like, that's what I'm talking about, where people are so sensitive. When people are really soft in certain things. Like, I feel like I would have to be brutally honest. Like, if it happened to me or to someone, I'd be like, listen, they took your kid for a reason. You know what I mean? This ain't something that you can take your time on and go, I hope she's not gone. If it's an accident, it's an accident. You got to act on that shit right away as hard as you can if you ever want to see your kid again.
Exactly.
And that's simple as that. And kids get it. Listen, if you know 50 people, I know 50 people, one of our kids are probably going to get abducted. That's probably what the numbers say, right? That's how high it is. There's like, 100,000 kids, I believe. Is it like 100,000 kids that are like abducted right now? I think that's the number. Like on that, like that haven't been found. There's 100,000, over 100,000 list of people that haven't been found. Kids.
Right.
I'm not saying like yearly or not like that. I don't know what the number is yearly, but I know it's probably high. But you've got to, it's because I feel like of the way, like it's not even something that I feel like they researched or got better on over the years. Like it's the same protocol.
Exactly. Well, you just,
like right, like you're thinking like nowadays, like helicopter, that's super beneficial.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you got a car or a make or something like that.
Cameras nowadays too,
Right. But just like really watch them areas. I
think the one thing to clear up immediately is that, you do not have to wait 24 or 48 hours. There's no waiting period for reporting anyone missing.
Yep.
There's no waiting period. That is a myth.
That was
100%.
That was another crazy thing about that episode, bro, about that cold case file. So in the same neighborhood of that girl, right?
Yeah.
Another 14, or it's like, an 8-year-old girl goes missing, right? And
see right there,
bro, the family waits. The family waits like 10 hours or something like that. Maybe not that long, but like waits. They go looking for her herself for hours. Then they call the cops, right? While all the cops are there and everything, all the cops are there and the family's there and everything, the cop that was working on the 12-year-old's case is there too, just to like try and see what he can find out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a 17-year-old boy. That's what he was, 17, I believe.
What the?
His 17-year-old boy goes up to the girl's mom and he goes, don't worry, we're going to get through this. And the guy that's working the case said, I could sense something was wrong about this guy. I went up and I talked to him and I grabbed him by his arm and I said, we got to figure this out. And he collapsed in his shoulder, and started crying and said, I buried her behind my house. She's hurt so bad.
What the hell?
They went back. It was another case of brutal beating, murder.
It
rape,
happened,
everything.
but separate people.
It happened in the same neighborhood.
But separate people.
Separate families,
Wow.
right?
But separate perpetrators
so they
too, right?
test this guy's nut. And he's not the one that did the other case neither, because he would have been like 12 years old when that happened to that girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? He would have been too young. So it's like so many times when you're like, they got the guy. And it's not them, bro. And it ends up being the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He was like,
we came full circle. We got him. I guess that's overall the important thing, that they did get him eventually. But
yeah, that's not the important thing, though. The important thing is to get that child back, because that.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, like I'm talking about that
give,
particular case.
If you see some sketchy shit, don't give up on it, man. If something's sketchy, it's probably sketchy. Like that guy was saying, even in that time, when that eyewitness, he's like, yeah, I seen the guy come over and the car pull up and he put her in there and he's like, they drove off. He's like, I just thought run to a house and get them to call 911.
Exactly.
That's a great idea. But for me, he heard a scream. As soon as I see a scream, a guy, a kid, a guy, I'm chatting over there, dog. You just picked the worst spot, bro. You just picked the worst spot for a child abduction today, dog. And I might not catch you, but I'm gonna try to. You know what I mean? Or license plate, something that's specific,
exactly,
right? And then I'll go to the house if I can't get you. I'll go to the house and say, write this down. Call the cops, bam. Like that.
Exactly.
I'm going for attack mode and something like that.
Proactive. You want to get any type of information that can help in any which way.
Exactly. Anything.
And that's an important thing to remember, is the license plates are big things. And
on that, when you're like, you got an eyewitness, man, and you guys can't solve it. Come on, bro.
Did an eyewitness do it too?
That's what I told you. The guy that told him, it was a tall, skinny guy with a red car. There's a guy that said it. Then he went to the house because he didn't have a cell phone.
Ah, right.
And he got him to call the cops. So they had an eyewitness. The only reason they knew that she got abducted.
Got you. Okay.
So he didn't have a cell phone now. So he ran to the house that he was closest to. And I'm saying, he didn't try to run at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Which maybe he couldn't make it. Maybe it was far away. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I would like to think you try and do.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'll chase you. Like I said, if I'm in my car, I'll chase you. I'll call the cops while I'm chasing you or something. But I'll do, bro. I would do anything in that situation, dog. I'll slam my car into you. Whatever I got to do, bro. I'll pit maneuver you. It sounds crazy, but you took a kid.
At that moment, exactly.
You took a kid. You took anyone.
I'm coming for you.
You took anyone.
You're going to take the fuck out.
I have a very special set of skills. I've watched over 100 hours of documentaries.
I've driven on GTA for over 25 confirmed hours.
I've seen every hooker ever killed on GTA.
I used to play with the steering wheel, Need for Speed.
I played manual.
Yeah, exactly. I shifted. Let that be known. Put that on the record. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You report it, fucking immediately. Just get it out the way.
When they say pick something you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that would be something for me. I really do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've never wanted to be a cop, right? I always thought that was kind of weird. I don't know. I don't like the prestige of it. But a private investigator,
yeah.
I want the number one private investigator in Maryland. You call me up when someone goes missing. Man, I feel like that's something I could be passionate about, especially if it was a child.
You got them sitting there just do we call Newell? They're just call Newell.
You work any missing person case, but you're able to work kids for free, right? Or something like that.
Yeah,
if it's a missing kid, I work for free.
Pro bono.
Straight up.
Is that what it means? Is that what it is?
Straight up. That's the
pro bono.
I would do something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's something that I feel like I would not want
to get your PI skills on point then, man.
It's I know, I'm not saying I'm the best man for the job, I'm just saying it's something that I feel like I would not want to go home from the office.
You would exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
you don't mind staring at that screen another hour.
But you would also want that person to be to come work that shit, you know what I mean? You'd want that person that's passionate about finding people,
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Really. I just just go over it, man. You go over it 1,000 times and you imagine finding.
You're just where?
Do you imagine That's probably a good feeling. That's like I would never want to be like a patrol cop, but I could be like a detective. You know what I mean? Like I pop up, like, and you just tell me what happened. I'm just like smoking a cigar.
Yeah, all times.
Huh.
You're that guy.
It's a blood spatter all across the wall.
You ever seen
There's a space in there. That means there was two.
You ever seen those like those TV sitcoms where it's like the amazing detective shows up, like Psych or some shit, and he shows up and he's just like, Frank. It's like, huh. Frank, Shrink. It's just like pointing shit out, just looking at shit differently. Just like, huh. The valve, the way it was touched with the left hand.
Yeah.
Is a lefty. That means he stabbed the guy with the left hand. And,
check underneath that pillow.
Exactly
as I thought. A Gatling gun.
The murder wasn't multiple gunshots. It was like, indeed.
Pulls the shades down, and everybody's just like, "How'd you do that?" He's walk away.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you just all.
That happens 6 times in 30 minutes. You watch it every Tuesday.
He's usually British.
Sure.
Usually always British.
Yeah, like a Sherlock Holmes type of thing.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. 100%.
But like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about like,
you're really witty and comedic.
Wow, I guess that never really hit me before, but like that is something that like I could get behind.
So we got like a PI going now.
That's something I could get behind, bro.
Please forward all your missing child cases to Newell.
How is it creepy? Just like work cases for free with no credentials. Am I just creepy?
Is it? Oh, yeah, hello. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Mike.
I'm just knocking on the door down like North Charlesmont.
You have
or something like that. You know what I mean?
You have like a degree in child psychology.
It's like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about what happened to your sister back in 1984.
Yeah.
You weren't even alive, dude. They
just like, I'm gonna solve your case, and you're just like, come on in. It's like, well, who are you? And you're just like,
that's how you gotta approach everything, right? That's how you gotta say it.
You don't tell yourself detective
right away. It's like, I don't care how far, you just go right to him. I'm gonna solve your sister's case. Now she's interested.
Exactly. Immediately, just like, yeah,
just like, nobody never said that before.
What do you want to know? No, I don't think most people will be like, "Oh, what are your credentials about my sister?" Well, what if it's like something?
I feel like they're gonna be like, "Who are you?"
Well, oh yeah, of course.
I'd be like, "Who are you?"
But it's like I don't think most people will be like, "So you've worked cases before?" And you're just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
You can definitely do that. I would just say to somebody, "Let me see your badge."
Yeah. Well, I mean, PI's not gonna have a badge.
Don't they have something though? They have something.
You just say I'm a private investigator. And
yeah, but you have to show something. You have to show
that you're
Steve. You're who you are right now. A private investigator comes to you and says, "I'm a PI." Do you just believe him?
Well, of course not.
You know what I mean? You gotta show me something.
But these people are vulnerable.
That's like somebody being like, "I'm an off-duty cop." And you're just like, "Perfect, dude. Prove it right now, dude."
Well, where's your gun?
People think it all the time. You know what I mean?
Where's your gun, man?
You're a fucking badass and an insane man if you impersonate an officer. Like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, they've had people like people like pull people over.
Yeah.
And I remember there was the one guy pulled over a cop, an off-duty cop.
Yeah, and that's how he got caught. He pulled like 8 people over, they said. And he would just like take random shit from them.
Yeah, he's like,
you imagine just like, let me get that big off.
Zell, did you eat that Kit Kat?
And then he's like, diet. Throws it on you.
I'm gonna give you a ticket, bitch.
Pussy's on the pavement.
I get every time.
Spread 'em.
Pussy's on the fucking. Is that Key and Peele?
It's super bad.
Yes. I always think Key and Peele for some reason.
And then remember when they're on the floor and then Michael Cera's talking to Jonah and he's like, I'm just gonna run. He's like, what? He's like, I'm just gonna run. He just takes off. And he's the only one that goes. Then he goes the other way, and then Seth Rogen chases him. And he's just running full speed. He's like, he stops, and his buddy catches up. He's like, he's the fastest man alive. He's the fastest man alive. and he's like, he pulls out his gun. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot a shot in the air. Scare him out of where he's hiding. He just shoots, and then it shows like Michael Cera in the bushes. He's like, and he runs out the bushes. Trying. It's just so funny, bro. That's my number one all time, dog.
Classics.
That is my number one all time.
One of the classics.
I will tell my great grandchildren. It's gonna be hard for something to beat that.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch this movie, man.
Because I judge someone very specifically. You know, I don't judge someone of how many times can I watch it. I judge of how hard you laughed the first time.
Yeah.
Which could be biased, right? Because you're different ages. But all I'm saying is like there's something
still
about
laugh
like
at
what's your favorite kind of what's your favorite movie? It's not only about how good the movie was, it's about the time you watched it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because you remember when you watched it. And like when Superbad came out, we're literally like right in the same time as not going into college, but high school. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
we're
that.
just
It was like
geeking about
10th
that
grade
shit.
or something like that. You know,
Prime time.
yeah, bro, just
Prime time.
funny.
Big loving.
When you talk about like literally when I watched that movie, I
Yeah.
laughed from the beginning to the end. I didn't get a chance to stop
Yo,
laughing.
it had that dumb shit, man.
It was just
It was
so funny, bro.
I'll tell you what was terrible about that was I remember there was like a bunch of like Jonah Hill, Michael Cera interviews. I remember they kept asking like Jonah Hill about like being fat and shit. Like, you know, there's a couple
Yeah, he
times
got
like
mad.
he blew up about it. You know, it's just like everyone wants to talk about me being the fat guy. Like, what the fuck? and like you thought he was acting, but it's just like
It's not.
oh, that's what he says.
I thought the same thing about the Michael Cera rants.
Yeah,
I always thought they were acting. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, he's actually a dick.
yeah. There's a couple.
That
That's
sucks.
like
Like two or three bad ones.
As I say, there's only like one that you saw might be like
Yeah, but for me, it's about how bad it is, no matter how many there is.
well, yeah, but
Like, what is it,
I'm talking about ring the fakeness.
Who
That's
was
what I'm talking
that
about, ring
was like-
being fake. Like, you know, when you have one,
right,
you know, it's
right.
like, oh, well,
I got you.
it might be fake, but when you
Yeah.
see 3 or 4
Now
of
you're
them,
known
you're just
for
like,
it.
wow, he's
Who
really-
was it that like just was rude as fuck? It was was it Tom Cruise? I feel like Tom Cruise is known as a nice guy. I don't want to say
Yeah,
that
I'm
about
pretty sure
him.
Tom Cruise was known as a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, it was somebody though, like a top-notch dude. Who just
I know they had
They call is it Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
I think it was Johnny
I think
Depp.
He's an asshole.
And he just but they got a video of him snapping.
They have him snapping a couple of times. I mean, they have the recording of when he was like snapping off at his wife or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, that
a couple.
one.
Yeah,
It's crazy how people like get that fame and think they can treat people like shit. The thing is, they probably treated people
well,
like shit
I think
before.
I think you just have people that are just famous like that. You know, it's just I mean they're regular people who became famous through some tube or another through
They're
some
dicks.
outlet. You know, so yeah, I mean. People are acting wild. It's back to what we were talking about. Like, why are people so fucking wild?
Why are people so wild, dude?
You're just kidnapping people. You're treating people like shit. You're shooting people.
Why are you guys so mean, man?
That's another thing. It's like
Like,
100%.
Like there was a time, like I swear, like I've never been this angry in so long, bro. Like I'm at Wawa the other day and I'm making that right towards my house. And like I'm sitting there and like the green light is for the highway that's coming off across from us. But
Yeah.
there's just no cars coming at all. And we're in the right turn lane.
Yeah.
So like the car in front of me just isn't going. And I like give him like 30 seconds. I'm like, still no cars coming. Like we can only go right. It's
Exactly,
legal
yeah.
right turn. It says only, literally, And so like I literally gave him just like this, bro. Just beep. I gave him that little doop.
Yeah. Give it
Right
some-
away, bro. Just throws up one of these at me, bro. This style.
Yeah.
This style, people.
Yeah.
Right through. And he's just holding it, bro, while he takes off and drives around, like to go hop on 95 North right there. And he's like just driving around. He's just holding it at me. And bro, I got so infuriated, dog.
It's
Like
like-
I told you, like I'm a revenge person, bro.
Yeah.
So like to me, I was just right away. I'm thinking
Try
like
to
this
get back
guy,
at that guy.
but just more importantly than that, right? He didn't even look back to see who I was. It's not like he was like, you know what I mean, or like, something like that. It's like he literally just went right away. As soon as I gave that little nudge, he was like, "Fuck you." And right away, for some reason, I'm thinking like, what if this was my daughter right here? You know what I mean? That just gave you that little beat, and you just flipped off my daughter or my girl or my sister.
Right.
You know what I mean? That pissed me off so much. Of like you didn't even know I was a guy. Like you're just flip off anybody like that.
Yeah,
Anybody that gives
exactly.
you the slightest beep. It's almost like I felt like that guy waited and wanted me to beep, bro.
Yeah.
And when I beat him, he was like, "Yeah." You know what I mean? He's like, he got off, bro. He nutted. As soon as I beat him, he's like, "Yeah." Literally, fuck you. And like, bro, I swear, I wish I had like an iced coffee or a milkshake or
Just chucked
something,
it
bro.
at his ass,
Bro,
man.
I would have smacked his front windshield and just made him pull over or something. Fucked his day up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, I just came up next to him like, "Fuck you, motherfucker."
It's
Just so
fuck you.
mad.
Oh, yeah,
And
man.
it's like, man, what a dickhead, dude. Like, why are you so
feel,
mean?
People feel invincible in cars, especially.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
looking at this guy. I'm like, this guy like drinks IPAs and
I could be a
shit.
crazy guy.
I'm like, but just regardless, I could be a mad guy, right? You don't gotta be a crazy, right? You could be anybody that's mad.
Regardless, why act like that?
Yeah, but just you made somebody mad. Somebody wants to hurt you. Why is that ever a smart decision in life? That's the thing about like people are so pampered and so soft nowadays. Like you don't understand, bro.
You go out of the way to be nasty.
If you did that 150 years ago, I mean, I know it's crazy to sound, you know, but if you did that out there in the middle of nowhere, let's say, you'll be a dead man. You know what I mean? You would be a dead man. Or I'd say, I know you, right? I know Jeff. I know Kurt. I know a bunch of people, and I'm like, hey, this guy flipped me off. Let's kill him.
Or you meet him.
And we just stab you up. We just beg you. It's an easy kill. I don't even fight you one-on-one. I'm just like, you're a fucking dick. I'm going to get, these people that I know to kill you. We just come up with pike. We're pikesmen. We just come up. Yeah.
And we're going to stab you up.
We're going to stab you up and kill you. Was that worth?
Because we're good people.
Just so you could show that 10 seconds of anger.
We're good people, and we are for a better earth. We don't get angry.
Was there something about? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm saying if he's like that guy, like the way that guy fired that up so quick, you could just tell he's that guy that flips a lot of people off in his car. There's times where you're going to be talking to anyone and be like, "Fuck you," or something like that. Like, of course, you don't want to snap on something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what if like you were in a village with 30 people? And there was only that one guy that flipped people off. Like when you beat, he's just like,
yeah, you'd probably kill him.
You'd be like,
you'd probably take him out. Sorry, man, you can't have this in the village, bro.
You're just talking to everybody. You're like, none of us, dude.
You can't do this in the goddamn village, bro.
You gotta get the fuck out, or you gotta get bodied.
You flipped off my cows.
Oh, my kids were in the back. My kids wondered why I let you bitch.
More importantly, my cows. I could trade these 2 cows for 4 more kids. We talk about it.
Flipping off my cows, bro.
Exactly. They don't flip off my cows. They don't make good meat when you flip them off.
So this is what you do, and he's just like, all right, I won't flip him.
Is he
flip him off?
But fuck your kids. He's like, oh wait.
I can't help it.
I was like, can we do that?
Fire him back. He's like, oh, that feels kind of good, man.
He's like, yeah, it does.
He's like, do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that mean? Fuck you. What?
You.
What's that? What's that mean? Fuck you.
Fuck. Yeah, it feels good to say sometimes, don't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's that dickhead. Have you ever had a time where you just didn't stand up for yourself for a long time, then you did stand up for yourself?
I'm trying to think specifically of a time. Man, I can't think of the times. I mean, I think instances, but not what you're looking for. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah, I mean, I can think of one. Like, we didn't kick no ass or nothing like that. But like, I just remember like Rodney used to have this court next to his house out Brooklyn Park, and there was always just a bunch of like adults that were like throwing up gang signs and like shit like that were playing on it, and like. They weren't good. Like, we honestly were better than them. We were better than them at like a young age, you know?
Challenge them on the court.
But we're just so scared. You're just so scared. You know what I mean? You're just so scared to even go over there and like, why would I even put myself in that position?
Exactly.
That's just dumb.
Exactly.
That's just dumb to play.
Man.
You don't play anything competitive with a gang member if you're not a gang member. You know what I mean?
Multiple gang members.
With multiple on the same set.
Exactly.
That's in the rule book, bro. Like survival on the street.
If you never heard that rule,
yeah.
Or,
that's 101.
It's one of those like unspoken rules. You just know it.
Yeah.
Come on.
So it's like we always just kind of were like we would just dribble, play taps and shit like that. And then one day we're just like, not enough, bro. We've been playing months of taps. It's like
I'm on that court.
We want that court, bro. And they were playing all the time. They always play. We could never get a time. It'd be nighttime. We had to go in. Literally, that was when they got done. We'd go in before they were done, or like eat dinner. And one day we just went out there, man. We ended up balling. We did pretty good. Not like we took the game over, nothing like that, but like we scored a couple points. We played pretty good. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, we was getting dabbed up. A couple people shouted us out, got picked again. Like, it became a great experience, And it was just like for so long, we just didn't even want to approach that situation, just thinking of the repercussions and the consequences.
That's cool. That's a turn I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, we never had no problems with them guys. Rodney, I think, did like maybe by himself like a couple of times, when I left there. But like as far as when we were hooping there that summer, it never bothered us. We just came up and hooped with them for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, they were cool.
And we're just like, fuck, man, why do we never do that?
Yeah, exactly. That stops a lot of people. It's definitely stopped me before. Definitely stopped, people from doing what they do, all the time.
There's just there's small bonuses.
But that's a good turn. That's a good turn.
There's just small bonuses. There's been times where I'm walking down the street on the side and there's 5 boys walking the same way. everything in my bones like walk across the street. Just walk across the street, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't even do this right
And
now.
the one time you
and
don't,
you're just like,
you're just like,
just go through. And they don't even say nothing to you. They don't even look at you. They're all talking and geeking. And you're like, what's my walk all the way across the street, bro?
or you see like the one dude that's just like,
nope. Exactly. You're just like, the thing is, you do that, you go across that street, you don't go to that park because of the 1 out of 10 time.
yeah,
It's not usually going to happen, but it does happen.
exactly.
And you're just like, well, if that happens in that instance, I got some things I could do where it's like 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 100. You know what I mean?
I'll break it down statistically. I'm just like,
when you say like, we hoop, 30 days in a month, I get 1 out of 10, get back 3 times.
Maybe.
I think we'll just play taps. That's not what you become, but
yeah, I just play.
It just feels good.
Run those taps real quick.
I mean, we didn't necessarily stand up for ourselves, but we kind of like overcame a fear.
You overcame that fear,
like,
exactly.
It was something that you overcame,
Yeah,
so that felt good.
Yeah, I mean, especially times like that, like you don't want to portray being scared.
No.
You don't want to portray.
But it's like they're adults; they know you're scared. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They knew we were scared.
Yeah, which is why they probably went. They took the extra step to be more kind and generous because they knew you guys were scared.
Yeah, even though they're like we're in a gang, it's just like it wasn't time to be hard.
So, we had some good games.
It's so funny because I remember on that same court, I swear to God, true story. One time I came on the court and it's like there was only like 2 girls there and like people were coming later, and I was cracking my knuckles, bro. I cracked my knuckles like this. I'm literally going like this, and they're like, "What you throwing up?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, still cracking up. They're like, "You in a gang?" I'm like, no, I'm just cracking my knuckles, bro.
For some reason, you got blood spot out.
It's like, just cracking my knuckles. Just start walking. What? I'm just dancing. I'm
stretching, man. I'm stretching.
Yeah.
You never heard a boy stretch, man? What? Fitness, man. Fitness.
Yeah, so I know like that one felt good. And then I honestly feel like I win a victory every time I go into the ocean. That's a victory for me. It's because it takes a while for me to build up and get out there in the deep part. When I get out there, I'm just like, you got it, and then I gotta keep talking to myself and shit, But for the most part, I'm like, nice job getting out here, man, because you weren't going to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when I jump off, man. Like when I jump off high shit. It's like satisfactory. It's like satisfactory. Not even like sky. Fuck. Why can't I think of that?
What?
When you jump out, parachuting, whatever.
Skydiving. Yeah, parachute, whatever.
Yeah, when you're like, it's not even like. Damn, I forgot about those. It's not even like.
I was about to start being like.
It's not even like that, right? Because when you go up in that, you gotta jump. You're like, came too far. Time to go.
All right,
but
paid.
Exactly. We're up in the sky.
I checked my account.
But like when you're on top of like a 20-foot rock and you gotta jump,
it's only you.
It's only you, and you don't gotta do it now.
There's
you can just turn around.
in.
You can just go swim.
Yeah.
But it's something about being like, nah.
You gotta make the decision to jump.
Yep. We're just gonna live with you forever.
Exactly. It's like
when the people are like, "Oh, you got a death wish?" Like, no, I don't got a death wish. I like doing things that are risky. I do like that. I like feeling that, man. Like I feel like how we were talking about, like we're so comfortable,
Yeah, and
like imagine back in the day, you're just like every day you're in the jungle. You're like,
wanting a death wish is like, oh well, I base jump off the side of the mountain and I go through, this hole that's only 10 by 10, and it's just that's you got a death wish, buddy.
Yeah, if you do that, do it once. Like that's something you go for once. That guy went for it again. Why do you got to replicate something you got on camera?
And you're the only one
that don't make sense.
Exactly.
That just never made sense to me.
Exactly.
Any like even BMX guys, they make do the same thing. Skateboarders, like if you did it one time on camera, you don't gotta ever do it for anybody else again, unless they want to pay big money, like some Saudi king or something, right? It's like,
show me the green.
That's how like the guy,
how
Saudi Arabian princes be like that to the UFC fighters when they go over there and shit. Like
maybe showering gifts.
Like Chris Weidman, who's 100, who fights at 185. They wanted him to fight Fabricio Verdun, who's a heavyweight, just for them, just for like these Saudi princes. They wanted them to scrap it up for $700,000 a piece. Yeah, yeah, ain't that weird?
Did they do it?
They just want to see it. No, they didn't do it.
I would've been
That they
like-
said.
I might have been like,
But if you did do it, can you tell someone? You know what I mean?
probably not.
Or
but-
like the reason Brock Lesnar,
Wow, that's how you get down. So
Brock Lesnar didn't come back to the UFC because WWE signed that big ass deal with
They got
Saudi
money.
Arabia. They got $50 million a show.
they got
$50
money.
million a show from Saudi Arabia. So they're like, Brock, what were they going to pay you to get your head punched? 5
Right.
mil, 10 mil,
All you gotta do is act. Out there. You don't even gotta say anything.
30 mil.
You know?
All you gotta do is fuck people up.
You just keep
Because he
being
hardly ever
Brock.
gets beat up.
You just keep being Brock. You hit a spear here and there.
Do some
Yeah.
roids, get roided back up, baby. We ain't gonna test you.
Yeah. Why? Why? You're not fighting nobody. We don't want to be involved in your affairs. Just keep bringing us Brock, baby.
We never knew. Yeah, literally. Brock is still in there?
And he's sitting there just like,
Feed me.
it's just like, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, WWE also got that
Isn't
money
Rodney crazy?
worldwide.
Rodney's crazy, Eddie. I can drop Brock. You're
yes,
crazy,
you
Rod.
cannot drop
You're
Brock.
fucking crazy, dude.
It's
Then
like-
remember he's like, Cain Velasquez dropped Brock.
Exactly.
And then you're like,
I'm like, how
bro,
much
that's-
do you weigh?
no, you were like, bro, that's Cain Velasquez. And you're like, do you think you hit as hard as Cain Velasquez? And he's like, no. You're like,
do you
do
hit
you-
a quarter?
You're like, do you hit a quarter? He's like, yeah. He's like, so a quarter you think's gonna get the job done now? Like, it's just so funny. It's like, Cain Velasquez did it.
like Brock Lesnar
It's
ate a couple of those. I mean, come on now.
just so funny how he said that. Like it was nothing. Like,
Yeah,
like,
it's
like,
just
like
like-
Cain had no credentials when he's like heavyweight goat
You know,
conversation.
Kane did it. It's like, what? Are you
like
Cain
Kane
Velasquez?
Cain knocked out Brock, dummy.
How much do you weigh?
If I crack him square on his jaw, that's literally what he said. Which
Like,
is
come on,
like,
he eats him on the jaw. I mean, just
that's what I'm saying. That's actually probably not where you want to hit
look
him.
at his neck circumference. His like,
Yeah, you're gonna want to smack a big bitch like that.
Like-
You're gonna want to smack a bitch like that probably behind the ear,
yeah,
right there.
yeah,
That's where you want him
or straight in the neck.
to knock him
Straight-
out. But if a knockout, I'm thinking you got to go behind the ear or temple.
Yeah,
You got to go
temple.
like you got to shake this.
Yeah, because nothing in the face is
You know
gonna
what I
do
mean?
it. His jaw, I mean,
But
it's
like, if you want to hurt him as bad as you can, just punch him right in the
his
nose.
jaw has to be wired shut, 100%. He has a wired shut jaw, so that's what it is. I'm
He's
sticking
been
with
hit
it.
before.
I'm sticking with it.
He's taken worse ass. He could fight all three of us back to back to back and win. He's
Exactly.
taken worse ass whoopings in 1 minute of
Exactly.
fighting in
You
the
could-
UFC.
He could fight in the UFC, get knocked down once, win the fight, and then still come fight through all three of us. Maybe
He
with
could-
a level
he
1
could get
concussion.
knocked out.
But he can be concussed and fight us.
He could get knocked out.
And
and
be
win.
all
I mean,
good.
that's just the truth.
He's
It's-
gonna kick our ass with a broken hand.
That's like on one of them boxing forums that I follow. It's like this thing of like everybody talks shit about Floyd being the best, but how would he do against this? And it's like a little meme cartoon at the bottom, and it's Floyd looking up at Muhammad Ali. You're like, bro, he's literally looking up. He's 5'8", 5'7", fighting at like 137. And you're talking about Muhammad Ali,
Yeah,
who's fighting like
exactly.
George Foreman and shit at heavyweight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? Like you're talking big guys.
Wait, what are you even saying then? What
I
are you
just don't
talking
even
about that?
understand that.
Of course he might knock him out. Like, come on now. Look how fucking
The fucking
long he
heavyweight,
is.
bro.
Look how tall and long he is. Like, what?
That'd be like if I could beat you up and you're just like, yeah, but you can't beat up Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? You're just like, I can beat you
or
up.
it's just like saying, I can knock out Brock. It's like, I mean, it's just, you know, we can't even have that conversation. Like, we cannot have that conversation. It's just like, maybe if all three of us fight him at once.
Listen, my thing is if like I'm fighting Brock, I'm not even thinking of how am I gonna knock him out. I'm just thinking like, all right, I'm gonna try and get his neck. And I'll just pray.
You know where I'm going.
God, do we
Brock, I'm sorry.
if we ever needed one, do we need it now?
Exactly. My boys are relying on me right
Yeah,
now.
we really need
They're
you.
counting on me. I need to land the one I'm gonna get.
What
I
you
need
thinking?
to land
What you thinking, Shin?
shin to the dick. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, it's a.
Or you thinking one of them lethal Baker uppercuts?
I think I'm just have to. I think I'm gonna have to like single leg, style, and just kind of just like.
Whoa, you're gonna fake a single leg and then uppercut the nuts?
Yeah, I'm going deep in my arsenal for Brock.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm going deep
That's
in the
pretty
arsenal, man.
sweet idea.
I'm just
Because
like,
he's naturally going to try to defend
'cause
your
I'm-
sick takedown offense.
I mean, I'm thinking at this point, maybe you and Rodney have already begun the process of charging him.
I told you what I'm doing.
I got like I can't charge in and get it off the jump. You know what I'm saying? I need you guys to go in and be my front line.
I pictured that I was going to go first. Like I was going to kind of sacrifice myself. You know, I'd go up there, I'd run, try to get his back, try to get his neck.
Yeah,
You know, and if I can even get up there and he goes to grab me,
I'm really counting on you for
Bam!
that finisher because
you gotta release the Kraken, dog.
I'm coming back.
I want you to crack his sternum. You get what I'm saying? Like I want you to like. I would like to see a slow motion of like his dick crushes, his balls burst, and then it's like that. Remember in like Def Jam Vendetta and shit, where like it
Yeah.
showed the bones breaking,
Yeah,
like that, where like
shit.
you hit him right there, and it just shows like his
Boom.
sternum cracking,
Exactly.
and it hits him so hard that his hips dislocate
It's one
up.
of those as I'm running in, it's coming out here, it's shaking a little bit, it's coming.
I picture like a charged up one, like you kind of go for that single leg, and then you're just like, no.
Oh man, whatever it is, it better fucking land.
Yeah,
square.
So just for all
both
namesake,
testicles.
you're comfortable pretty much hitting anybody in the balls during a fight.
Well, like I said, it's circumstances. You know, it's like especially if it's close. Like maybe I'm gonna get taken down. I know you're probably trying to beat my face in. You know,
So
something of a
anything
deal,
close to losing.
You know, where it's like survival.
So basically, you kind of go into the fight
Survival.
with like an even playing field, and then if
oh,
you
but
feel
you gotta
like
see where
you're,
it goes.
if you feel like you're losing, you then resort to your dirty
but
tactics.
see, this is the way you make it sound. It's like I'm gonna not respect a 1-on-1 against somebody or something. But where it's like, we go out in the street and it's like we're at a bar and it's like this guy trying to fuck me up. Maybe I'm getting beat. I'm just like, well, I don't just want to get beat on the ground, you know.
Would you feel any
Come for that
different if
dick.
like? Would you feel any different if like 30 people were watching? Like everybody's came outside the bar and they're like, "Kick his ass, Steven." And you punch him in the dick.
My bad. That's all I gotta do. Just my bad. Square up.
He's
My
just
bad.
severely compromised.
Like, exactly.
Caleb's like, "Let's go."
Like he's like herniated.
He's screaming.
It's moving inside him now. It's just like
He's got internal bleeding.
I'm like, my bad. As soon as
I think you busted one.
Even before I like make content, I'm like, my bad, bro. And then
you hit him in the nuts.
1-on-1, square up. Well, it's coming in at this point. I'm just like, my bad.
I would like to see like your sucker punch nut shot, where it's like somebody's just sitting and like standing this way, and you run at full speed from behind, and you just come up from behind,
Yeah.
just walk out. Somebody doesn't even see you coming. You just come up like a ninja, Naruto style, and then you like you slide. You know what I mean? And like as you come up from the slide, it's like walk out.
Send it.
It's like if you there's one thing to sucker punch someone. There's one thing to nut shot someone.
I'm just
There's another
saying,
thing that
like,
I've never seen a sucker punch nut shot.
I'm just saying, when you're all getting, in some type of big ass group fight in the club, and so you got that one dude over top, he's about to rain down his 13 Timberland, boom.
Well,
And I come in
I
with
got
that
you.
dick punch that save your ass. I'm just
see, I feel
saying.
like that's only reserved for like way bigger dudes than me. Like if someone like 6'8's trying to fight me, you might get that dick punch. But for me, to be honest with you, I'm probably more of a biter. Or I might pull hair, to be honest with you. If I got to talk about dirty tactics, I'm not really a nut punch just because there's been times where I've been hitting the balls and it's like not a killer shot. Like you do got to land a good shot for someone's adrenaline to be affected. You get what I'm saying? You do got to hit it. Where I always think like, man, if I get you down, like I'm going to pull you by your hair. I'm going to hold your head down by your hair while I hit you, or like say we're like in a scrap, like we're wrestling or something like that. I feel like you said, like I'm losing the
shave
fight.
my head.
I'm losing the fight or you're bake or something like that. Like
I'm about to shave my head.
I'm saying I might bite that neck. I might bite your shoulder. You got me mounted? Bite anything I can get my hands on.
Yeah, the one thing about that is like, like that type of like the response, it doesn't capacitate people. It hurts like a bitch. but like it sends people into like a flight mode where like they just gotta like hurry up and release that pain, almost into panic, and they're gonna do whatever they want. And that's how you get this guy where he's like he starts punching your nuts because you won't let go of him biting. So, just saying.
Now we have a
biting.
tangent.
I think a biting would just flick that switch on to where they're just like get off, the type of deal, Whereas it's like nope, this ain't happening.
I see what you mean, like it ain't a killer shot.
Whereas like you got more of a chance.
Yeah,
dick
for
punch.
me, it's like a reaction type of thing, like
And-
biting. Like I'm not going into a thing about biting. You know what I mean? It's one of them dick reaction things.
Exactly.
Like, you got me mounted. I'll pull you close.
Yeah.
I'll bite you.
I'm
doing whatever I got to do not to get smashed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why we would be clear about the dick punch. It's like I don't. I'm not going into the game like, hey man, I'm about to fuck this dude's dick up.
That's how you made it sound before. You made it sound before
trying to
like
be funny
first
with
nut
it.
shot. You
I'm trying to be
okay?
funny with it, but
Okay,
I'm
just trying to
also
clear it up.
I'm also trying to say
I always
that
thought first nut shot Steve
I'm also
got.
trying to say
he'd drop
I'm
you.
not, in that type of situation, I'm not the type of guy to be like, well, I'm below a nut shot. It's like, I'm not above a nut shot. I'm not above a
Get
nut
off
shot.
my purse!
It's like,
That's the
Yeah.
funniest episode ever of that, ain't
oh
it?
man, yeah.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, King of the Hill. That's what it is.
Bobby.
I just kept saying Hank. Yeah,
he
Bobby.
goes with his wife. I
Yep.
mean, he goes with his mom.
Yeah, to that
Yeah,
recreation.
yeah.
It's like
And he's
it's
just
like-
now and
it's- yeah,
every day he's
what-
down like
what
3
always
kids.
sticks in my head is that girl's voice, that lady's voice. Where she's like, okay, Bobby, that was good, but that's my purse. It was like,
Yeah,
it was like,
she
but
tells
Bob-
him to
it's like,
say that.
Bobby, that's okay, that was good, but next time you really need to be vocal with it. That's my purse.
He's like, I don't know you.
that's
My purse.
and then the one where he confronts like 2 bullies, and he's like, I don't know you. Ugh.
And remember, he's like the
That's
hero.
my purse, boom, man.
Yeah, he's the hero. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh. And then they get they're like, remember they come into and it's the principal. He's like, your son has dropped like 9 kids, nut
Yeah.
shots.
I was like, oh, Bob. Yeah, and Hank thought he was like, fighting or using his hands.
Oh yeah, he was proud. He's like, really, my boy, getting in all them fights?
Yeah. He was like, wow, huh?
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
doing
like,
what you taught me.
Dick punch. Yeah,
I love
dick
King of the
kicks.
Hill. I think King of the Hill is great. It's a great show. It's not one of the ones where you're gonna like constantly geek at.
But also, in my opinion, they're
it's-
not trying hard.
Right, very
They're
true.
not trying hard.
It's more of like a fun to watch type of thing.
Yeah.
It's honestly like I really like King of the Hill. I really do. Now that I'm thinking about it, like
And I do find it funny. I do find it
do
funny as
find
shit,
it funny. Like this might be unpopular opinion, but
Oh,
I
dang-
think
dang
I
all
would
my
rather
motherfuckers.
watch King of the Hill than Futurama.
I could give you that one.
I know it's
Yeah.
not the easiest one.
Well, I mean, like Futurama, in my opinion, like, it's also fun, but it's like I can understand that one. If you were like King of the Hill over South Park, I'd be like, well, bro,
Are you
I
kidding
think
me?
you might be crazy.
You think I'm gonna go with the goat? You think I'm gonna disrespect?
I'm
the
just
goat?
saying, it's like but I can understand Futurama. you
No, I'm
know?
not gonna disrespect the goat. You know what I mean? But like,
I mean,
I'm going
like,
with that. Like,
Come on now, Family Guy's bottom of the barrel. American
Family
Dad.
Guy's trash. Okay, you heard it here. It's trash. It is, bro.
Yeah.
It never was that funny. And I always remember, like, why do people? I always was thinking, why do people find it so funny? I've laughed at it,
I
but
think
for most of the part, it's like if you can find a talking baby funny, or if you can find like dumb violence, or like a little rape joke or something funny.
simple
then-
thing, yeah,
yeah.
simple things, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
But like I remember like we're 13 and people act like Family Guy's funny and like they're saying shit like, "Oh, I haven't did this much coke since I was with John Cusack." You guys don't even know who the fuck John Cusack is and shit. You know what I mean?
but see, like now I'm like laughing at because
Yeah, but it's just funny. Like
But-
nobody even knew who that was. They were just like, yeah, remember that one?
yeah.
Fuck John Cusack.
People would be like, what was the part where he was just like, here's Conway Twitty, and people were like, ha ha. You're like, "That's- oh, come on,
you've never listened to
you don't know Conway Twitty, and it's like it'll be like it's like that one time that I was in the orgy with Hillary DeRoche, and it's just like,
I'll tell you, an underestimated
What
one.
is it?
Underestimated one. American Dad. American Dad is good, bro.
it's better than Family Guy.
It's better than
Uh,
Family Guy. It's
but,
good.
yeah.
It's good.
I'm a bit iffy about that one.
See, people don't like it. I feel like it's good. Like I'm not putting it up there. I would, of course, I'll go King of the
Stan's
Hill.
definitely funny. Stan's definitely.
Oh,
Funny.
he makes the show. Yeah, he makes the
Definitely
show.
funny.
But I mean, you also got the Alien and just they kind of play it really good. Like it hasn't gotten boring yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It still has. It's to me, it's 10 times funnier than Family Guy. I still would go King of the Hill and course. Well, South Park's number one. You don't gotta say that,
I'll
but
take Futurama over it too. Over American Dad.
yeah, I would. I gotta be honest. I
do
would.
like the Boondocks up there
Just because
too.
it's more
The Boondocks is
diverse.
up there, man. You watch the Boondocks?
Yeah, I watched
like
some of it. It was
man.
always just really slow.
I feel you on that. There's a couple of good episodes, and for me, like there's a lot of parts that I love that like a piece out of it. Like there's like the one where like Usher takes that dude's bitch, and he's just like, yeah, the pimp named Slipback, a pimp named Slickback. You got also early on in the season was the Kung Fu Wolf bitch. That was another good one I liked a lot, man.
I've never seen these.
Yeah, so you got to watch the Boondocks, man. I like the Boondocks a lot. That's up there for me, but it's probably lower tier for you, you know.
Well, I can't really give an opinion on that one because I haven't watched enough of them at all. I've probably watched like 2 episodes of Boondocks.
But anyway, you definitely gotta watch the one with the wolf bitch, the Kung Fu Wolf bitch, and the fucking the Usher episode. That's a great one. Also the one where the dude's really scared of prison rape.
Okay, I got a couple recommendations.
Yeah. Take those as you will. But I do feel that it is slow at times, slow to get up there. But is
So
what
you
it
can
is.
write an anime.
I think I can write a good anime. I think I can write an anime down. Have stuff with crazy plot.
Hentai?
Hell yeah, I can write. Got
Anyone interested?
anyone want to write a hentai with me? Anybody? No.
You think you write anime though?
Yeah, I think I could think.
Can you spitball me anything right now?
Yeah, I can spitball something.
Give me something right now. Like, what are you thinking? Give me an origin.
There's something to do.
I know. Just trying to see if you got anything.
Because off the jump, you definitely like underdog style. But I'm going kind of like Zoids almost, where it's like you got like the battle robots.
Don't tell me about Zoids, boy.
Zoids, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm going Zoids direction. This is like
that's my shit.
Going or either that, or I'm definitely going like Avatar style, but like not exactly, but it's like superpowers along those lines.
Give me things you need, and let me see if I can create something.
Yeah, give you something.
What is that you need in the good anime?
We needed. You need story. You need story.
Story is everything.
Story, 100%, 100% everything.
It's gotta have a twist.
But I shouldn't say that because like they have One Punch Man, which is just
I've seen that.
which is more of a comedy.
I can watch that one because he always wins.
Yeah, but that's the point, where it's like he's fighting these overpowered creatures and he's able to destroy them in one punch.
But it's kind of a tough build up.
Yeah, they have all those build ups. Yeah, exactly. But if you had more anime experience, it'd be kind of funny, because it's like that's what they're making fun of. It's like a satire show. They also have the show Food Wars. Well, this dude makes like
Karen got me to watch a couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the food's so good, people like orgasm. And shit. It's like, well, it has a story that's funny, but I definitely think story's big. But for an anime to be animated and put into a show, it has to have a great manga series. You have to have that kind of like comic style. The manga. You gotta have that. You gotta have that down pat. Because all
what kind of graphics do you like?
What kind of graphics do you like? What do you mean, like
Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, as far as like style, like oh man, there's some interesting ones. All of them kind of follow the same line. One that was
Bleach.
Yeah, one that was kind of different was they have the one anime show on Netflix. It's like Anjin or something. That one was pretty cool because it was like kind of like digital, but it didn't have the classic anime art style. There's another cool one. I think it's called Hitalia. That one is it's the Axis powers and the Allied forces, the Allied powers, like in World War II, as people. And they're just kind of like interacting, but like as people.
And that's funny. That's something different.
That was. It has that classic anime style, but that one was different. It was pretty fucking cool. I haven't watched it last time, but that one was one of the interesting ones. Yeah.
There's a lot of them that I've enjoyed. I have enjoyed a lot of anime, but for me, I've never been able to go full on it because there's a lot of corniness.
I'm not full on it, bro. By any means.
There's a lot of corniness to it. Like for me, it's like watching like a 1980s movie sometimes, where you're just like, put my shades on, walk away. Oh, he throws another punch, I block it, final hit, like walk away. Now I'm the savior. Like It's just like so much corny shit
But
like
it's
that.
also
That it's
like-
hard for me to like those.
But it's also
ones.
like, like why do people like, like cheesy action films, type of deal,
I don't.
Like, but I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying
No, I see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
market for
Yeah.
it. I'm saying for me, like I don't like corniness.
Yeah,
And
I
anything.
feel that.
Like I'd rather if you're gonna have like a horror movie, it can be shitty to me.
Yeah.
But don't let it be corny shitty.
But I mean, like they have various like there's another one called Overlord, where people are. I think I'm getting this right. I haven't watched it, but people are they're getting taken from the real world and being put in this dude's game, and he's like the overlord of the shit. There's the one Psychopaths where like they're like supernatural hunters and shit like that. And they use like spectral guns and whatever that shit like that. So I mean they have a varying degree of like shit. So you just got there's like I think the ones that like that most people come across, yeah, they have that corniness because those are typically like like the Naruto storyline, the Bleach, then all that. So. I'm going to kind of like a long rant, but like, yeah, that's the type of thing that like you mostly you come across instead of like those like underlying really good ones. Like everyone knows like that good movie, but it's like not really like up there.
But there's obviously there's a couple of them that shine. Like there's Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Avatar.
I think that
like,
also comes on as like they also have like lots of manga to back up. All those shows to be made. I mean, there's like 600 some. Probably even more than that of Naruto. Bleach got up to like 900 something. One Piece is still going. I think they're in like this 800.
I'm still writing comic.
They're still going manga style exactly, and that's why the show's still being animated and still going on.
Wow!
So you got to have the manga behind it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you got to do that.
I mean, that's how most people get their anime.
But like that one anime that Karen got me to watch the one time. You said you didn't know what it was, but on Netflix, where it's like. It was like how they did the Resident Evil movie, where it's like real picture, but it's animated.
Yeah, they have some really cool art styles, man. Like, it's like
this one was like they died, and when they woke up, they were in like a room with a ball, and they had to like go out and fight monsters.
Kieran knows the animes, yeah. But
it was just a good way they did it.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the future of all acting.
It's like that
probably like you're just
style.
Instead, like you're still gonna be an actor, but you're just gonna be uploaded into something to be like an image. Right. We perfected it. At that point,
Yeah, I got you.
And you just sell like, okay, it's $18 million to use my likeness.
but yeah, but for that, digital shit, like CGI needs to become cheaper. Because like a lot of times, like especially like with like Marvel and shit, that CGI shit be like most of the movie budget, like
or
like 75% of your movie budget.
Game of Thrones was spending like $1 million an episode.
Yeah, they had
most of that was on the dragons.
Yeah, and you just had to create these realistic dragon-like images with
down to the scale
filmed movie. You had to like integrate that somehow. Just like what the fuck with the camera angle? It's a crazy undertaking.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Because all that shit starts off with hand drawing shit. Hours, man. Months of work. So, yeah, expensive as fuck.
Big profit margin.
Yeah. This is where you need to have some type of deep learning design program that just like creates these things and like you just keep playing the shot back and forth and it just finds the best dragon to put in there. Over and over. Just keep drawing the dragon better and better.
I could see it being like 50 years. We just straight up got like an AI system that just constantly, like step one, they just run 1,000 ideas for what people want to see and what people like and twisted endings and plots. Like, they can write poetry. They can write like plays and shit like that. You just get them to write like 1,000, movies.
Exactly.
And then you get them to analyze the 1,000 movies. And then it's like maybe you got like 10 good ones. And then you just take that, you tell them to upload that to another AI that creates like the CGI and shit like that. And you just upload that writing into a picture and then you just got a movie.
Yeah, literally.
Instead of having to like worry about weather and shit like that. And all.
You literally have like a deep learning program like scan and read like whatever story you wrote, parse it or not. And it could just like, run it back and just create a whole digital movie before you.
Yeah, and it's so quick that we can do like 15 of them and you can choose the best version of that.
Exactly.
Or you
you
can
know?
just change one thing if you want, or two
exactly,
things, and just
and mix and match it.
yeah, and just like movies just be like crazy,
You're just
and they
like-
just get right uploaded onto a
it's
streaming
like you didn't know
platform.
that there were
The
new plots,
And all of this is being funded by like a Netflix or whatever the future Netflix is, right? And it just goes right to streaming on their platform. And every day they just upload like crazy movies that their AI algorithms developed.
It'll all be under Disney, whatever it is. It'll all be owned by Disney.
Disney's scary.
We're just gonna live in one big Disney world in the U.S.
Y'all don't know nobody else that's frozen. Y'all don't know nobody else that's frozen. If you ask, like, you know anybody that's frozen, everybody's gonna tell you one person if they know anyone. Everybody's gonna be like, Walt Disney's frozen.
Yeah. Is that true though?
That's true. That's true.
Is Walt Disney frozen?
Walt Disney is frozen. You heard that.
It really makes you think for a second, like, huh?
You want to get to the bottom of that?
We'll look it up. Go ahead.
Let's see.
I've heard that before, and I feel like I've heard it on like maybe I've seen Snopes or something. And they were like, I believe that's. I don't know, man. That might be one of those weird ones. He might be frozen, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, he might be fucking frozen. What is that? I'm trying to think. What is the point of freezing your body? Isn't it because they said some shit about like maybe in the future you have some type of like regenerative surgery? Is it fake?
Yeah.
It's fake. Ah, yeah, I knew it. He's not frozen.
It's just so funny how they said it on here. After Disney's death, many rumors were spreading that Disney's body was not cremated, but it was cryogenically frozen, and that his frozen corpse was stored beneath the Pirates of Caribbean ride at Disneyland. Those rumors were false.
It's like
everybody, all the conspiracy theorists are just getting on that ride. They're always looking underneath, like
everyone.
He's right under there, dude.
He's frozen, man. Say that he did it because in the future he got some type of surgery.
I feel like I read though that like that was a true thing.
But it's just like Marilyn Manson had ribs removed. It's like
no, that's true.
It's like his own dick. It's like one of those, like, oh man.
How did that spread so much?
Well, there was another one.
Dick?
There was another one. So whoever it is, man. Like, can you imagine? That's like the thing. There was the first person to say that, and it's just one of those things accepted as like
somebody else just shared it, and then here I am today.
Just like when people say shit like two birds with one stone. Like the first person to say that, someone was just like, huh. That's
but even
profound shit right there.
Even that one makes a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah, but like the first person to say that, everyone was just like, huh. We're gonna say this for generations. Some shit like that, Just like the first person to say that.
It's just so weird. Funny. I mean, like
weird.
There's a lot of people that wrote on it, and apparently it's like a conspiracy theory, is what it is.
Yeah, I knew it was bullshit. They didn't freeze, No
one said it was bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, I was on the fence about it too, man. I was one of those.
It does say at very low temperatures, it's possible right now to preserve dead people with essentially no deterioration indefinitely.
Just freeze them forever?
You could theoretically.
Just freeze them forever.
And they wouldn't lose anything. But your body wouldn't get younger.
Well, I mean, if it's
we gotta bring people back.
Yeah.
And then we gotta replace your organs with grown ones.
Yeah, because like I think your body does stop working.
But then won't your body hurt? Like when you're at 160, won't your bones hurt?
I don't know how shit works, man. It's like, how's cryogenics work, bro?
It freezes.
It freezes shit, and all your cells stop moving, and then when we bring you back to life, I mean, there's some fish that can do that. Alligators do that. I know about like
the advantages of it on like training and shit. It's like your body only releases certain things when it's in extreme cold.
Yeah,
and that's why people do sauna also, is because it only releases certain things when
super hot.
Basically, your body's at its best when it's surviving.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
it's in survival mode. So you're trying to activate it. You're trying to activate it and think it's about to die, basically, and then you fire out some things, that helps your body.
Yeah, the sauna sounds amazing.
Yeah, well, they do like that.
I don't, I don't like the cold.
They do, but if they do the cryo after they work out, and if like you can just make your body think like I need you now more than ever, and it just works, and you got a fight coming up, and you feel 100% that next day.
Yeah, you're just like.
Most people do that sauna and that cold. Maybe do the cold first if you can.
But the sauna sounds nice, at least.
Yeah, we gotta do that hot. You gotta do that hot sauna.
Yeah, you gotta do like 200.
Yeah,
yeah,
220.
Exactly. You gotta sit in that bitch and just be like.
Yeah. I remember a time when like Josh Koscheck, the fighter on Ultimate Fighter, he's like cutting weight and he's got him in trash bags and he's in the fucking sauna and he's like trying to open the door. It's sad. It's not even funny, but it's like he's like just completely on the ground like this, bro. Like he's basically on the ground and he's like this, trying to turn the knob. He gets it open. He's like pulling himself out like on the floor. He's like. And then his team comes up, bro. I swear, this is on video. His team comes up, grabs him by the feet, and they're like, "No, bro, you can't quit." And he can barely talk. And he's like, just like, "No, I'm done." And they pull him back in the sauna and hold it shut for another 20 minutes, bro. And he got enough weight to fight and won the fight. But it was just crazy how he's just like, he's literally like,
I gotta watch that.
You gotta see. I'm looking out. He's just like literally pulling himself out. Like, I'm done. And it's just like, no, you gotta go back in there. He's like,
push his face.
I think he just faints or something.
Like,
he literally passed out in there. He just woke up when they opened the door.
He woke up and it's like, weigh in, bitch. And he's just like,
it's like, did I cut the pound? Oh, we actually went a little over. We're over by 4 pounds. That was too much. You can eat.
But you can only sip a little bit of water at a time.
Crazy. Yeah, like they can. Just seriously. I think you're not even really thirsty, I don't think. I don't know how that works.
You gotta sip a little bit of water because you can't take too much
water. You see Aspen Ladd like couldn't even hold up herself.
She was just like
you're just like, what the fuck? You're not supposed to
cramping,
do that.
Man.
You're not supposed to do that, dude.
Cramping, bro.
You ain't got no water in your brain.
Nasty. Like
a kid could knock you out right now. Catch you on that head. Somebody could smack you in the face.
Gives me chills thinking about it.
I know. I mean, bro.
Because I think about it, I'm like, I know you have a sick ass migraine.
Dog, when I first was watching that with Chaz, dog, I was gagging, bro.
Your brain is hurting, man.
And that's the second time she's been like that. And like when she goes to like lift up her arms, she's like, she literally gets like right here. That's how high she gets them. She's like, you're just like,
it's not funny, but like,
I know. And to me, that was weird. Like when I see that, I'm like, why doesn't someone come over and be like, no, if it's this bad. If it's this bad, we got to change something here.
Exactly. We got to figure something out for you.
Listen, you're going to have to we're going to let you just drink some water. You're going to be 3 pounds heavier. You got to forfeit 30% of your purse. This just looks too bad.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like that's what it is.
You can't cut the weight, you mean.
You got to gain some weight back right now. You got to get some water in you.
Well, it's tough, man. Tough solutions.
Stop getting knocked out, people. Keep your head up. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Another day, another dollar.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. We love it, man. Thank you so much. Oh, that felt good. Yeah, light them up.